Welcome to the BEASTwriter family, where social media engagement is encouraged. I'm your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we have a NFL draft special. I'm going to be on for the duration of the entire first round, just like on ESPN NFL Network. Just like last year, we are doing it all over again. We'll be breaking down every single 49ers pick. Oh, are they picking in the first round? I don't know. Was that a Freudian slip? I don't know what's happening with Deebo Samuel. I don't know. Check out the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter right here. It's all covered in there. And again, you'll get the BEASTwriter Plus insider analysis and exclusive content found nowhere else on the web. So everyone, thank you for everyone that went ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. We're up to 307 subscribers on the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. It's really been hot. The Deebo Samuel stuff has been hot. Me being the first one to report. If you're a BEASTwriter Plus newsletter subscriber, you would know this, that I was the first to report that the Jets were willing to move on from number 10 overall, not number 4, and it was going to be 10 plus extra draft capital. All right, so here we are today. No surprise here. I am really excited. This draft, and I tweeted this out, if you guys follow me on Twitter, this is the hardest draft to predict for me. I can't speak for anyone else, but for me since 2015. Like, it's a really hard draft to predict, but I'm happy. Hopefully my analytics check out, run all the grading systems. I feel like I'm locked into this. Talk to people internally, externally, out from inside, outside the organization, scouts, talk to people in the know, and also talk to people who would really, how do I say this? I don't know how to say this other than the trusted sources that I have. I mean, they're pretty spot on. So like, I'm really confident in my BEASTwriter Plus mock draft, right? And so if you guys are BEASTwriter Plus newsletter subscriber, we're going to go ahead and break down those picks. Last year, you guys know how hot I was. The year before, however long you've been following me, there's a guy that was at the gym the other day. He's like, oh, I've been following you since you were covering the Steelers. I was like, wow. And so that kind of like raised eyebrows for him. I was like, whoa, like, I see this guy all the time at the gym, but he never said anything to me. You know, you just kind of pass each other at the gym. And he was like, I've been meaning to talk to you about the draft, but I see you're in the zone all the time and you're getting your workout in. I want to bother. It's like, you know what? I'm always down to talk to people. Like, if you see me out and about at Cheesecake Factory, if you see me at Eureka, if you see me at the, Levi Stadium, if you see me at wherever it is, Vegas, I don't care. Wherever I'm at the gym, doesn't matter. I'm down to talk to you guys, man. I'm not one of those guys that says, nah, I can't talk to you, man. I'm in my own zone. Like, dude, that's kind of like, okay, who are you, cool guy? You're not that cool. But yeah, I am excited. My man Mello, let's get to some of your comments. My man Mello says, I was here last year. I'm going to be here again this year. Thank you so much, Mello. You are freaking my man. I love your comments, by the way, that you leave here. And again, if you guys like the work, like the channel, do me a solid. It would help me out a lot. Send me a super chat or super sticker. It really helps the channel grow, and so we can kind of do this. Like I said, I'll be doing this for 5 hours. So if you guys don't mind, send me a super chat or super sticker. And I know money is tight, so if you guys aren't able to send me a super chat, super sticker, give me a thumbs up, smash that like button. That is free, and drop a comment. That's all I ask. Because in here, the BEASTwriter family is all about social media engagement. Which, by the way, we sold out of these t-shirts. They are back. They are back here in time for the NFL draft. I told you guys that they're going to come back on the newsletter, and they are back. So they actually just got shipped in literally today. So we have a new shipment of BWF t-shirts. You guys, a lot of you guys reordered t-shirts, which is awesome. And somebody said, I don't know who it was, because I don't know if it's a guy or girl. I just see the avatar, and they're like, oh, I got it. I got your BWF t-shirt. And she's like, I gotta be honest, I don't like the logo, but I like the quality of the shirt. And I was like, that's a good, I'll take that as a compliment. So she didn't like the logo, but she's like, I like the way, I like the way the shirt feels. It's like one of my best and favorite shirts. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't care. I don't know what else to say to that. I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry you don't like that logo. No, my man Daniel Jr. Middleton, who happens to be one of the guys who actually bought 2 shirts. Here's a guy that bought 2 shirts. My guy, Daniel Jr. Middleton, thank you so much. He says, good evening, Beast. Deebo stays. Okay, he thinks Deebo stays. We're going to have to see how that one plays out. My man, Mello, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. He says, just because you're the man, the myth, the legend, and my only go-to when it comes to inside NFL information. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love and support. It really does me it makes it worthwhile, I should say, when I hear good things like this, because I got to be honest with you. Like sometimes when I go on, it's like, man, I wonder if, because you never know who's listening, right? And you're like, I wonder if it's like all really worth it. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's worth it, because if I can influence one person, or if I can like affect one person to kind of inspire someone to do this or do that. Because I get a lot of questions. How did you become a beat writer with the Niners? How did you become an NFL insider? How did you do this? How did you do that? It's hard work. That sounds cliche, but more importantly than that, it's belief in yourself, right? Like you have to believe in yourself and really have to understand the dynamics of what it is you're trying to gain, to get out of it. And so for me, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have those haters. I mean, I get haters. I mean, I got death threats. Like, and I said, we talked about this with Deebo Samuel. Some people, some beat writers are saying, oh, well, I don't think those are Niner fans, or they're sending death threats. No, man, like I got death threats. Like legit. Facebook knows this because it was reported to Facebook, and it was a whole on like cops got involved. Yes, I got death threats from Niner fans, so I know it happens. And so for someone to say, oh, well, that, they're not a Niner fan. No, every fan base sends death threats. Like, it's just the nature of the beast. So if you're going to be in the game, you got to have thick skin. Like, that's just, when you guys see all the racist stuff I get, it just comes with the territory. Like, I laugh it off because at the end of the day, they wouldn't say this to my face. And even if they did, they'd probably run away. But true story, it's all good. Whatever. I mean, people are going to say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. But thank you so much, Melo. I appreciate the super chat and super sticker. You're my man, man. Appreciate it. Spencer, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. He says, for my homie, thanks for everything, man. Thank you, man. I wouldn't be here without you, Spencer. I see you and Melo here all the time. I love engaging with you. I love the engagement that you guys bring to the table. You guys really make me think outside the box. Like when you guys provide your own analysis, and then you kind of have questions on top of what I like to bring to the table. And so I like that dynamic. I like that interaction, because it makes me think. And then I'm like, let me see it from Spencer's perspective. So no, thank you so much, man. I appreciate, just as much as you appreciate me, I appreciate you. And just so everyone knows, all the super chat and super stickers are getting funneled back into the BEASTwriter family channel. For instance, if you guys notice, and again, check out the Beast receipts, everything is timestamped. You guys remember when my audio was cutting out? You guys remember that? And it's like kind of awkward. Like, yo, man, it's staticky, it's fuzzy, you're cutting it out. How unprofessional is that? So I went ahead and I actually purchased this. This is like my Christmas present, late Christmas present. But I got this. This is an Audio Technica mic. So I had to get this mic right here. And it works wonders, and I got this thanks to all of you guys who are sending me super chat and super stickers. So again, all the super chat and super stickers go toward the channel. And everything that we bring in goes back to you. What I mean by that? Well, we run Family Friday giveaways, right? So the BEASTwriter Family Friday giveaways are going to be starting up again because it's NFL season. You guys know how we did it last year. So every Friday, a random winner, if you follow me on social media, on YouTube specifically, you'll be entered for a Family Friday giveaway. Or if you're BEASTwriter Plus newsletter subscriber, you'll be entered as well. So again, it's all going back to you guys, and you guys can pick the prize. Like, I have Niner stuff. A lot of Niner fans follow me, but I have Arizona Cardinals fans follow me, Carolina Panthers. A lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans follow me for my time covering the Steelers for Sports Illustrated. So literally, I guess you can call me like, I don't know, like when people say, oh, yeah, well, didn't he cover the Raiders? Like, oh, doesn't he cover the Cardinals? Like, yeah, I did all those things. I was the editor of Raising Zona from Fansided. I was the co-editor of Niner Noise with my man, Matt. Back in 2013 before, and I also had NinerFans.com, of course, and then did some work from Bleacher Report, CBS Sports Radio, whatever. And then I worked on with Sports Illustrated with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, at the time, the Oakland Raiders with Golden Gate Sports. So did it all. And now I cover all 32, literally. But no, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, Spencer. Michael McCann says, Beast, we appreciate you, brother. Man, I appreciate you too, man. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I'm going to be on here for freaking a long time, like a long time, long time. But Spencer says, challenge is you get pick 5 to 10 right. I'll donate another 20. All right. Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm probably, I went against the grain. And at number 3, I'm just gonna release my number 3 pick right now, just so everyone knows. All right, I don't want to give it away, but at number 3, I actually went against the grain here. And people have Derek Stingley, right? For instance, I do not. People have Akeem Aquanu at number 3. I do not. So then you're thinking, oh, it has to be Sauce Gardner. I do not. If you're a BEASTwriter Plus newsletter subscriber, you guys already know. I'm going to drop it for you guys. I'm just going to drop it for you guys here on YouTube. We're just going to get this thing going because I don't like the anticipation. Oh my gosh, what does he have to say? Like, nah, man, we'll leave that to the theatrics to NFL Network and ESPN, which I am excited, by the way. I can't wait. But no, let's just go ahead and talk about it, right? So I already have Evan Neal plugged. All right, you see that on the ticker. I have Evan Neal plugged to the Houston Texans. GM Nick Caserio is not one to show his cards. And that's one thing I learned from him under the Bill Belichick tree. He comes from the New England Patriots, right? As the vice president of player personnel, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Furthermore, when you look at what Evan Neal brings to the table, it's very reminiscent of Isaiah Wynn, a first-round pick that Nick Caserio drafted while with the New England Patriots. Coming out of the SEC, played the piano along the line. Very versatile, right? He wants his best 5, which I talk about in the newsletter, right? He wants his best 5, regardless of position. He wants his best 5 on the field. So if that means that Evan Neal, if he's a all-pro guard and you draft him as an offensive tackle, which goes against, by the way, unconventional thinking, by the way, because you don't draft an offensive tackle at 3 if you think he's going to be a guard, right? If you run the analytics, how many interior guards were drafted inside the top 10? I got those numbers if you want those. I described it in the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, but broke that down. But for the sake of the YouTube live stream, you're banking on Evan Neal being a freaking tackle alongside Laremy Tunsil. You need 2 bookend tackles, dude. I don't care who it is. You build teams from the inside out, not the outside in. And you team build, right? As Randy Miller says on Twitter. Loved what he said. My guy. But Evan Neal, I think, is the guy. I think it's going to be Evan Neal. I think they're going to try to trade back. Why? To target Evan Neal. But if they have to make the pick outright, I think they're going to go Evan Neal at number 3. Now, watch me be wrong, and they take Akeem Aquanu, or they take Sauce Gardner. That's going to screw up my freaking whole entire mock draft. But hey, I'm not one to go with everybody's line of thinking. Remember last year with Trey Lance at number 3? I was the only one that said Trey Lance. Well, that was like, that's my gut feeling. That's also what I'm hearing. National media, NFL Network, ESPN, all of them said, nah, it's Mac Jones. I said, okay, we're going to see who. And then Lombardi comes out and says, Michael Lombardi, I think he came out and said, we're going to see who's right on whose sources are right or something. We went on, but it's Mac Jones. I'm like, okay, we're going to see whose sources are right. I think it's Trey Lance. Boom, Trey Lance. All I hear now is crickets. Here we are at number 3. I'm probably going to be wrong at this one. I don't have a conviction about this one. I'm just saying I'm going kind of with I wouldn't call it a gut feeling, but a strong feeling. My gut's never wrong, but I don't know. I'm going with Evan Neal. I think he has the similar measurables that he likes. And from people that I talk to within and outside the organization, I may not be wrong. Now watch me be wrong. Listen, the draft is so unpredictable, but at number 4, I really have Sauce Gardner there. We're just going to roll with it. Screw it. Number 4, I have Sauce Gardner. All right. I love Sauce Gardner. In my grading system, my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter broke down my BW grade snap for snap. Graded out at 8.6, tied for second highest among all defensive players. Don't rely on PFF. And he is tied with who? My guy, Nakobe Dean. If you're watching, that's my guy right there, man. We follow each other on Twitter. Nakobe Dean should be the number 1 overall pick. I'm telling you, Nakobe Dean is the best player in this entire defensive draft class. I'm telling you right now. Tied up there with Sauce. All right, him and Sauce, neck and neck. Him and Sauce are neck and neck. And the fact that teams are bypassing my guy, Nakobe Dean, is a huge mistake. He's going to be the defensive rookie of the year. Especially if he's under the right system in the 3-4 scheme. I'm telling you guys right now. If you read my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, you guys know what I had to say about Nakobe Dean. Straight up with film study. If you guys like that film study that I bring to the table, that's one of the things you guys like. I tell you, it's a B to freaking make, but I do it for you guys. But yeah, love it. Hopefully I get those 5 picks right. Daniel Jr. Middleton, thank you, my man. He says $5 just for going to Piedmont Middle. Yes, I went to Piedmont Middle School. If you guys don't know, we went to Piedmont Middle together. Piedmont Middle, PMS, you know what's up? Yeah, Piedmont Middle. That's where I went. People are like, what school did you go to? Piedmont Middle. That's where I went. And so yeah, people, there's a lot. Hey, I'm surprised. We all keep in touch. By the way, our anniversary is coming up. Or what do you call it? Not anniversary. Is it anniversary? Our little, like, what is it? 10-year? Yeah, it's anniversary, right? Don't we have like a party coming up since, like, to tell us how old we are since high school? We should have a middle school one too. That'd be really, really awkward. Like, hey, yeah, this is your 35-year reunion for middle school. I'm like, what the hell? People are gonna be like, whoa, like, what are you up to? But like, oh yeah, like, still doing it, dude. Jason Els. It's funny. I went to my Piedmont High. Daniel, I'm not sure if you were there, but thank you so much, Mahalo, for the super chat. I don't know if you went to the Piedmont High one. Man, I just gotta let you know, man, I was totally gone. Like, I was a goner. Like, I was trashed. Like you look at the pictures, like, dang, man, this guy has that red Asian glow. And I don't get Asian glow, by the way. But I did that night, which means I blame my guys, David, Alvin, Eric. If you're watching, I blame you guys for Brandon. I blame all you guys for getting your boy. Spencer Bailey says, "What conference will have the most players drafted? How many players from the HBCU get drafted?" That's a good question. This was actually a prop bet in Vegas. All right, this was a prop bet on Vegas. What conference will get the most players drafted? They also had a prop bet saying how many wide receivers would get drafted in the first round. The over/under was 6.5 or 7, something like that. I think this is a good question. And again, this is something that nobody talks about except for here in the BWF. I don't see it anywhere. Again, you're going to find something. Look, certain GMs favor certain schools, and they also double down on those gains, peeling back layers of the onion to get to the core, favor certain conferences. For instance, GM Nick Casario favors what? And the newsletter talked about it. SEC talent, right? Big Ten talent. GM Tom Telesco, what does he favor, right? Go back and look at the Seattle Seahawks, who drafted number 9, who will probably do something stupid because they reach for need in the first round anyways. Look at LJ Collier. Look at Rashad Penny. Look at Bruce Irvin, James Carpenter. The list goes on, and this is off the top of my head, on and on and on. Every year they do something stupid in the first round. Now they hold number 9. I have Kayvon Thibodeau falling to them at number 9. Now people will say, oh no, the Giants will put them up. But look, if you're looking for a high character guy, I would rather have a guy by the name of Jermaine Johnson to the New York Giants. In fact, again, when it comes down to the 2 New York teams, if they don't trade for Deebo Samuel, meaning the New York Jets, not the Giants, because they obviously have Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, and the likes of Kenny Galladay to go along with, excuse me, let me get my coffee. The New York Jets, they're definitely locked in on Ahmad Gardner and Drake London. That's how I think their draft is going to play out for them. I don't think they go wide receiver at number 4. I think that's too high, especially in the cream of the crop draft class. And if you're looking at the draft position and then you're playing the vertical board versus the horizontal board, it's better served to get a quarterback 1 who can shut down one side of the entire football field when you project that. Because let's face it, you don't draft a cornerback inside the top 5 if you don't think he can be that true shutdown cornerback. In fact, if you run the analytics on it, since 2000, only 6 cornerbacks were drafted inside the top 5. Write that down. Since 2000, only 6 cornerbacks have been drafted inside the top 5. No cornerback has been drafted higher than 3rd overall. Do you know who that player is? Jeff Okudah from the Detroit Lions. The last 2 that were drafted inside the top 5 hailed from the Big Ten, from the Ohio State University. You know who the other cornerback is? Denzel Ward. I'm telling you, this is all. I've been doing this on the back end. That's why I've been off the grid for YouTube, because people are like, man, you haven't been posting every day. Like, no, I'm not going to post every day. For me to come on and do this live stream, this has to be on the top. I can't be looking up. Oh, yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah. No, dude. That's like fool's gold. I don't do that. Jason L says, last year he got like the first 15 picks right. Man, it was, yeah, this year, I'm probably going to get the first 15 picks wrong. I'm joking, but I'm going to get, to be honest with you, it all starts with number 3. The draft starts at number 3. All right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if GM Trent Baalke went with Evan Neal at number 1. And I already talked about this on Twitter, talked about this in my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. In fact, my first mock draft 2.0 on the newsletter, I had Evan Neal mocked to number 1. Why? Look at what he did back in 2010, right? He had 2 first-round draft picks, multiple round 1 draft picks. What did he do? He held draft position at number 13, traded with the Denver Broncos, moving up 2 spots to number 11, selected Anthony Davis, right? Who, by the way, they already had blindside left tackle, Pro Bowl left tackle Joe Staley. So you have Joe Staley already locked in on one side. You move up 13 to 11 to draft a young pup in Anthony Davis, right, from Rutgers University. And now you have 2 bookend tackles. Then they double down on those gains because you solidify the offensive line from Mike Singletary, and you get the throw-in Samoan Mike Upati at number 17. So you're solidifying the offensive line for Frank Gore. That's what you're doing. You're building the line up in the trenches. What's happening with Cam Robinson? Jacksonville just got a 3-year, $54 million contract extension, $18 million APY to play what? Left tackle. So he's going to be there for the foreseeable future because the dead money tied to that contract. He's not going anywhere. Then what you could do, Jacksonville, go get Evan Neal because he can play the piano along the lines. And now again, deja vu, boom, 2 bookend tackles. I can see it. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I think it comes down to Evan Neal or Trayvon Walker. A lot of people have Aiden Hutchinson there, but knowing Baalke the way I know Baalke, I think it came down to really Evan Neal or an offensive tackle, I should say. Offensive tackle or Trayvon Walker. Obviously, I have the pick made to Trayvon Walker, but watch me be wrong after saying all that. No, you said this. All right. Eddie the Horror Addict says, you're on the clock with the 10th pick from the Jets. Who do you get? Well, I already posted this on the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, my guy, but since you're here, we're just going to talk about it. If you guys want to send me a super chat and super sticker, I'll be on for 5 hours straight. So imagine me talking for 5 hours straight. I'm probably going to lose my voice like I did last year. No, not kidding, but hopefully I can make it through. All right. So who I got for the 10th pick from the Jets, I have Drake London. I'm hearing it's going to be Drake London. My sources are telling me it's Drake London. I'm going with Drake London. Mello says, what are the odds Jimmy G gets traded? Jerry Yang, my guy who was on here earlier, not on YouTube, on my Twitter space. I did my first Twitter space today right before hopping on here. How crazy am I? Woo, you're really going crazy, Ryan. Oh my gosh. What are the odds that Jimmy G gets traded? I don't know, man. I don't think he gets traded. Not today. J. Paul Ibers Didio says, Matt Miller, I remember him. Spencer Bailey says, I know I saw him nail it last year. This year is way tougher. Yeah, this year is way tougher. It's gonna be crazy. Spencer Bailey says, where's the pizza and Rice Krispie treats? Look, I have Rice Krispie treats here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna roll out the pizza. I actually am trying to cut weight right now, and I actually feel good right now about my ab game. So I'm not sure about about the pizza, but I can do the Rice Krispie treats, and I can curl, but you really can't see it. It's like out of frame if I start curling. So I don't know how funny that would be, but it'd be kind of hard to curl without standing up. All right. Gene says, hey, bud, I enjoy listening to your analysts. Keep up the researching, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, Gene. Do me a solid, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and flip on the bell notifications in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. You'll see this red box here. You guys can subscribe to that, and it'll take you to my landing page to subscribe, and then turn on the bell so you get notified when I go live. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. It's all worth it for me to be on here with all of you. I started doing this last year. Last year was my first year doing it. It was a huge hit. In fact, till this day, I think it was our hardest hitting live stream because people were following me over the years, whether you're a Niner fan or whatever fan or team you root for, because of my NFL draft analytics and my predictions. So I was really caught off guard, to be honest with you, about the engagement that I was getting. But then, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it again, man, because it was a huge hit and apparently people like it. So this is our second annual one, and I'm happy to be back. And I hope you guys are happy to be back as well. All right. Have my coffee here because I gotta stay engaged with all you guys. Spencer Bailey, thank you so much. He says, tear your draft sheet up for a second. Surprise pick in top 10 is, oh man. All right. Well, surprise pick in top 10. Well, I already there's not a okay. That's a good question because based on how my final mock plays out, I think the Seattle Seahawks, again, they always reach for need. I think they would want to trade back because John Schneider is likely to do that because he doesn't hold on to his round 1 picks and he covets Big 12 products. Go down the list of round 1 prospects that he have. A lot of them are coming out of the Big 12. There's no Big 12 kid worthy of the number 9 overall pick. Again, you have to look at conferences, tendencies, biases, what they do based on past behavior to kind of forecast the future behavior of certain GM, certain teams, the dynamics of what they look for based on the team's needs. That's like the pro player personnel department. Then you cross-reference that with the college scouting department, and then you can kind of mirror each other. But here we are. Look, I think the Seattle Seahawks surprise, and I talked about this on Twitter Space. Is that what we call it? Twitter Space? On Twitter, on my Twitter Spaces. I don't know what you call it. Twitter Spaces? That sound weird. Anyways, I did that freaking thing where you can do like a podcast on Twitter. I don't know what you call that. Spaces. Join my space. Okay, cool. On that space thingy. And I talked about this. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seattle Seahawks drafted Malik Willis at number 9 or took a risk on offensive tackle Penning, Trevor Penning. That's who I think. I think it's going to be Penning or Malik Willis at number 9. I think the Seahawks are going to do something stupid. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't taken Kayvon Thibodeau, but if Derek Stingley's sitting there and they go after a guy like Trevor Penning because they don't have a blindside left tackle because we don't know what's going to be Dwayne Brown, what's going to happen? And people are going to be like, whoa, like what? Why'd you draft Trevor Penning, dude, at number 9 when you couldn't have him at 17 or 16? Because that's where he's slated to get picked up, right? By the New Orleans Saints, because they don't have who? Terran Armstead, who left to who? The Miami Dolphins. You see the domino effect? If Trevor Penning goes to number 9, that's good. Man, that's crazy. But that's a crazy one. I'm going to say, now this can all change though, Spencer, because let's say a team trades up into that 6th spot, like I discussed in my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. I talked about this in my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, how a hot spot for a trade is number 6, because if somehow, some way, Sauce Gardner slides past the New York Jets and then past the New York Giants, which, by the way, it's going to be a hard sell for me because Joe Shane dined him out after his pro day and attended his pro day and really likes him. But they feel like, hey, we got to go offensive tackle. And if they get a guy like Charles Cross, Akeem Ekwonu, or Evan Neal, whatever the case may be, and then double down on those games 2 picks later at number 7 and roll with an edge rusher, Ahmad Gardner sitting there at number 6, the team could leapfrog because Carolina Panthers would love to trade out of that spot. They're not going to go quarterback. Carolina Panthers are not going quarterback at number 6. I'm telling you that right now. That's not what I'm hearing. They're not going to go quarterback at number 6. And I said that 2 weeks ago, that they're not going to go quarterback number 6. If you look at the needs, right, they need an offensive tackle and they need an edge rusher. Well, if the tier 1 offensive tackle is already off the board, do you reach for a guy like Charles Cross? I mean, and then if you're asking the New York Giants, do you think it's a reach? No, because likely they'll get him at 5. But then again, I don't know. Okay, well, he's the best pass protector in this draft. Okay, so I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? I think that if you're Matt Rule and if you're GM Scott Fitter, you're going to have to try to pull the trigger and trade back a few spots, pick up some draft capital because you don't have a day 2 pick. You don't have a day 2 pick. You need draft capital if you're going to sustain a competitive roster. You need draft. You do. You don't have a winning roster to begin with, and you need freaking draft picks. You do. Spencer Bailey says, how come I never see you in the 400 Spaces on Twitter? I don't know, man. That's the first time I ever use Twitter Spaces, but yeah. What's up? G says, that was the first time using my Twitter Space, my man. So I don't know. I haven't. That was my first. I have no idea what 49ers I don't know what a 49er space is on Twitter. I just figured out what spaces were, and I was like, oh, let me try the space. Like, I don't know. I didn't know 49ers have their own spaces. Spaces. What's up, G? Says, show me the dumbbells for your curls. Smash the like button. Oh, my guy, what's up, G? We talked about this. He knows what's up in the newsletter. Another one of my newsletter subscribers, BEASTwriter newsletter subscribers. Thank you so much. Yeah, smash that like button. Give it a thumbs up. That's free. Engage with me. That's free. But yeah, if you'd like to send me a super chat, super sticker during the duration of this 5-hour live stream, hey, I'm not hating. I'm loving it. Manish Bassi says, what's good, Beast? My second NFL draft with you. Let's go, Niner faithful. All right, man. We are freaking really going to do this. I know everyone seems to love it, man. That follows the BWF. All the people in the BWF love my live streams because I like to criticize people. No, I'm joking. Well, sometimes I do. All right. All right, so Daniel Jeremiah, I'm watching NFL Network. You guys got to remember, I'm on YouTube TV. All right, so there's some lag time because I don't have cable. I have YouTube TV. And so if there's like a 15-second delay in my picks or delayed reaction, I apologize. But I am watching it live from where I'm sitting because it's on YouTube TV. Does that make sense? So hope that makes sense. Manish Basi, thank you so much. He says pizza and dumbbells this year. That's the thing. I'm not doing pizza. I do have Rice Krispie treats, which I can bring out, and I do have dumbbells, but I do not have the pizza. I'm not doing the pizza today because I'm cutting. I'm actually down to 147 pounds. I cut, guys. I kid you not. The day after the Niners lost the NFC Championship game, I weighed 162. 162. I have since cut down to 147. 15 pounds since the Niners loss. That's not depression or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, that was kind of planned, you know? I try to get big, build up the muscles, and then shrink down to keep the muscles, but then lose the fat. Yeah, that's a life of a bodybuilder. So down to 147, lost about 15 pounds. Probably of it, I would say a good 10 to 11 pounds is probably fat. Nah, does that sound right? I don't know. Maybe 8 to 10 pounds of fat. Now it has to be 11 pounds of fat because I still kept my size up. I don't know. But let's see. Here we got here. Vernon, my man, Vernon Freeman. I haven't seen you in a while. He says, Beast. Yeah, I missed that. You know what I miss is when I used to come out of the 49ers tunnel during pregame, all you guys would be like, Beast. Hell yeah. And people who didn't know me were like, why are they booing you? I'm like, nah, they're saying Beast. They're not saying boo. Yeah. What's up, Vern? How you doing, man? Spencer Bay says, does Christian McCaffrey get traded today? I say yes. You know, that's the rumor. Would you trade Christian McCaffrey to the San Francisco 49ers for Deebo Samuel and that? Oh, that's just too many parameters, man. I don't know. I don't know if I would make that deal. I like Deebo Samuel. That's just me personally. How can you get rid of Deebo Samuel? You take Deebo Samuel out of San Francisco and out of that offense, it just looks like another simplified offense. I should call it simplified because you have Kyle Shanahan. He's one of arguably the best offensive mind in the entire game. But it's a different offense. All right, that just goes without saying. And so you take who can replicate that? Who can come close to replicating that type of production? The answer lies in What's Up G brought up a great point when I was talking to him. I think it was last week. He said Jalen Hurd was supposed to be that guy. And I was like, oh, you're right. Jalen Hurd was supposed to be that guy. It was supposed to be Jalen Hurd and end up being Deebo Samuel. So are the Niners going to go after another Jalen Hurd type of a receiver at number 61 in the second round? We have to think about that. Kevin Down, my guy, another BEASTwriter Plus newsletter subscriber says, do you think Mark Davis was serious about Kaepernick? I don't know. We're going to find out. Which, by the way, if you're a Las Vegas Raider fan and you're tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in to this. I really appreciate it. We are going to talk about so many different things today on the live stream. And mainly, we're going to talk about our picks. But thank you so much, everyone, for the super chat and super stickers. Mello, I appreciate it, man. You're awesome. You're awesome. And thank you so much, Spencer Bailey. Thank you so much, Daniel Jr. Middleton, Mello. All you guys are awesome. Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and have questions or have anything or want to support the channel, please consider sending me a super chat and super sticker, and we can go ahead and talk about that. But let's get to some of your questions. We have some questions on Twitter too. Let me just open my Twitter right now. All right. So Cole on Twitter says, how do you feel about your Linderbaum in the first round Beast receipt? Well, again, my final mock draft is already posted in my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, so I can't say I didn't say it, right? I can't. And I did have Linderbaum. Early on in my pre-draft analysis, I said, don't be surprised if Linderbaum goes 14 to the Baltimore Ravens, which could still very well be a possibility. But after doing the legwork on it and watching film study, I just don't see that he's a good fit for what they like to do in Greg Roman's offense. Again, I covered Greg Roman during his time in San Francisco, and he's more of a power run type of a guy. And Linderbaum is more of a zone blocking type of a guy. So when you kind of mirror the two different schemes and you're looking at it, I'm like, I'm not sure if Tyler Linderbaum is going to go to Baltimore, and I was running the grades. And of course, you guys know Jordan Davis. If you guys are on the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, graded out as a 9 out of a 10. I didn't grade him on the pass rush, obviously, because that's doing him a disservice because that's not what he's asked to do. But Jordan Davis playing in the AFC North, playing a 3-4 down defense, 3-4 scheme in Baltimore, I think you have to plug him at 14 as the best player available, and I think he will be available. So if you're Eric DeCosta and you're looking at it and you're looking at your vertical board and you see Jordan Davis still on the board, the thing that you have to question and what's going to happen when they're on the clock is like, okay, if we take Jordan Davis, how's his conditioning? Can he hold up for 3 downs? I mean, that's a big question, right? A guy that size, that massive, can he hold up that size? Because if you look at Georgia and the way they like to rotate their players in and out, whether it be Devontae Wyatt, Jalen Carter, some of these other guys, right, along the defensive line, you've seen it, right? So I think that's a question, right? And if you're bringing him in and you're sitting there with a strength and conditioning coach and you're saying, okay, well, we don't want to lose that mass, that size, that speed, but at the end of the day, we want that conditioning to be up. So that's the kind of one of those things. It's like how you get the conditioning up without losing that size and that mass and that speed and that power. That's something that it's tough. It's tough to gauge. I mean, some players that big, they just don't have the conditioning to withstand long drives. They can't do it. Very few can. But nose tackle is not a premium position, right? It's not an edge rusher. It's not an offensive tackle, blindside left tackle. So, but I see Jordan Davis going there. I think he's going to go number 14, considering all things considered with no trades being involved right now. Mello says, do you think this is a make or break draft for GM? Look, I'm not sure it's a make or break draft, but again, I graded John Lynch over the years here on YouTube, been very critical and obviously gave him praise as well. But he just, to me, when it comes to evaluating defensive front seven players, he just didn't do a very good job of like, whether it's retaining players, whether it's drafting players. I mean, you look at recent memory, right? Like it's just compare that to other GMs within the division. And then you double down on that and look at the draft, right? Like you say. I don't think this is a make or break draft for John Lynch. I really don't. But I will say that it is a time where we have to evaluate whether or not he can, how he played. Like he doesn't have a first round draft pick for one, right? So what are you going to do in round 2? Like at 61, are you going to stay there? Are you going to take the best player available? Are you going to reach for need and take like an Aaron Banks like you did last year in the second round? I was highly critical of that pick. And people, oh no, PFF grades him. I was like, okay, watch. He's going to be a healthy scratch. I literally said this in real time. I was like, watch. He is not a scheme guy for what they like to do in the zone blocking. He's going to be a healthy scratch for the majority of the year. And he was. And then John Lynch goes on his presser and says, well, people who say that, Aaron Banks wasn't ready is not true. He just had other players in front of him that were better. Really? The players that were in front of him were better? Just call it, man. Just call it how you actually see it, man. Like, he wasn't ready, dude. He wasn't ready, John Lynch. Stop. Stop. Willie Rodriguez says, what's up, Beast? Is Debo out? Look, I talked about this earlier on my newsletter. Sources close to Debo Samuel talked to them last weekend at length, tweeted this out. I feel for Debo Samuel. Look, I don't think what Adam Schefter said was incorrect in that he doesn't want to play in San Francisco. And there's a lot of different parameters why. One, it could be usage, right? People say, oh, it's all about usage. He doesn't want to be a wide back. Nah. And I said this in the newsletter. That's not what I heard. He doesn't care about being the wide back. He just wants to be compensated for being a wide back. And how do you do that if there's nothing to compare to? Secondly, he does want to live and play closer to home. So what I've been told. Now, don't shoot the messenger. This is what I've been told. This is what I'm hearing. Take it for what it's worth. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm not saying it's fiction. This is what I'm hearing. Take it for what it's worth. All right. You guys can connect the dots if you want. I don't want to stir up controversy, but Adam Schefter isn't wrong. I heard that he does want to go back and play closer on the East Coast. Now, is that true? I don't know. I'm not in those conversations, but that's what I've been told. So take that for what it's worth. Will he get traded on draft day? I don't know. I was the first one to report that the Jets were going to give up number 10 and not number 4. It was number 10 and then some. So what I've been told, that same intel, again, I said this on the newsletter, is it's a tough one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen. Like, I just wouldn't be surprised because, look, Debo does not want to play for San Francisco for whatever reason. I don't know the reason. I don't know the exact reason. You don't know the exact reason. People can speculate all they want. I don't know. But he just doesn't want, he requested a trade. That is fact. He requested a trade. That is fact. So I don't know what's going on there. But what I do know is he requested a trade. So here we go. There's a lot of stuff. I'm getting a lot of, I got to check my DMs. I got to check my text messages. Hold on. Let me see this. Oh, my buddy's like, you didn't send me the mock draft. So he's actually a scout. He's like, you didn't send me the mock draft. I was supposed to give him my my mock draft. I give it to a few other of my friends who are scouts, by the way. Well, it's too late now. No, it's not. I'm going to get to you right now. But anyways, I think he might be, I don't know. I think it's going to be what, 55, 45 chance. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen today, but again, John Lynch says he can't envision playing without Debo Samuel. But then again, like, could you envision playing without DeForest Buckner? Like, and when Mike Yam was on here, we talked about this. We literally talked about this. And I told Mike, my guy, Mike Yam from NFL, I said, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised because the DeForest Buckner thing, kind of similar. And people are like, oh, it's not similar. Yes, it is. What does it come down to? Meet me in the middle when it comes to money, contractual obligation, right? Money talks at the end of the day. DeForest Buckner said, the Niners weren't even willing to meet me in the middle. Joe Thomas was talking about it, right? He was talking about what he brings to the table. He just wants to be compensated for what he does, for his usage. What I say on my newsletter, everything that they just said. Jean Paul Edward Didio says, what's your impression of Logan Hall? Just a guy. Just a guy. No, he's okay. He's good. He's nothing really special. Nothing really crazy that I can say, oh man, this guy's going to be a great NFL player. Will Baker be moved? Thank you, my man, Jean Paul Edward Didio, who's also a BEASTwriter newsletter subscriber, man. Hopefully you like my stuff. I know you're probably asking about Logan Hall because I don't have him in round 1. That just goes to show you what I think of Logan Hall. Spur topics. Will Baker be moved? That's a good question. Not today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today. Willie says, is Jimmy getting traded tomorrow? Maybe. Charles Ceasley, Think 91, as in Eric Armstead. Go, you can say his name. I don't care. He's probably watching this anyways. We'll not say his name after he tried to come at you. Yeah, he tried to come at me. He tried. Remains in the middle. Yeah, they should keep him in the middle because he can't play outside. So you have to keep him in the middle. He did really well in the middle up until the NFC Championship game when he threw out a goose egg. But you have to keep him in the middle. Look, you have Javon Kinlaw and Eric Armstead. You lose your top 2 interior run defenders in back-to-back seasons with DeForest Buckner in 2020, and then in 2021 you lose DJ Jones. Basically, you have backups in terms of interior run defenders and Javon Killa and Eric Armstead. Let's face it, the BF grades don't lie. Now, granted, Eric Armstead, once he was kicked inside to defensive tackle, he played really, really well. Really well. I think you need to keep him there because that's his position. You stick him outside, he's going to be back to, I don't know. Well, anyways, he's back to what he has, flashes anyway. So it's like he flashes and then he's inconsistent. He flashes and he's inconsistent. Then he's inconsistent. Flashes, inconsistent. So you have to keep him in the middle. Where else are you going to put him? On the outside? I don't think so. I don't think you can put him outside. I don't think that's his best. I guess you would say he's scheme dependent, not scheme diverse. Lunar Mystic says, "What's up, Beast? What's going on, Lunar? How you doing? I thought the reports about Debo was inconsistent. He created the wide back position last month. One says the other. Look, if you subscribe to my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, which is in the description box below, also it's in the banner right here. Just go to BEASTwriterNFL.com. You can see everything I had to say on that. It's all in there. Reported everything before Tony Pauline of Pro Football Network on the Jets going and giving up number 10 overall, and that's where the trade value really starts. So again, it's all in there. Can't say I didn't say it. It's all in there, and reported that 3 days before Tony Pauline did, along with other things. There's a lot of different things, man, but that's why the BEASTwriter newsletter subscriber is there. It's for all of you guys there. And again, for the 307 people that are watching or that are subscribed to this or who are watching, thank you so much for doing so. I appreciate the love and support. All right, so if you guys have any more questions, feel free to shoot them over to me, and send me a super chat or super sticker. Does me a helps me stay on topic. Let me get to some of these tabs. There's so many tabs on here. All right. So the draft is here. Are they on the clock yet? When does the draft actually start? Has it started already? All right. My guy Spencer says, tear up your draft sheet for a second and surprise, and top 10 is. Okay, I'll give you my top 10. Well, let's get to the pick first. It should be Trayvon Walker. That's who I have, guys. I have Trayvon Walker. This is who I have. Let's see if it's Trayvon Walker. So I have Trayvon Walker for a lot of different reasons. One is versatility. I think it's going to be too good for Balky to pass up on that kind of upside. Let's see what he says. Hurry up, dude. Gosh, Goodell. Jeez Louise. Okay, just say the pick. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay, Marcus Allen's a beast. Darren Waller's a beast. Oh, look at Derek Carr. Look at that new haircut. Okay. Look at Derek Carr looking Rico Suave over there. All right, can we just get to the pick, please? It's going to be Trent Balky. It's going to be Trayvon Walker. That's my pick. It's going to be Trayvon Walker. I have Trayvon Walker. Hopefully it's Trayvon Walker. All right, can we just get to the pick, please? Oh my God. Okay, it's Trayvon Walker. I'm going to tell you why it's Trayvon Walker. They're just talking about a bunch of BS right now. So this is what I said in my newsletter. Having covered GM Trent Baalke during my tenure as a 49ers beat writer, one thing I took was he loves building teams from the inside out. Earlier, I had Evan Neal mock number 1, which you talked about, and that's a likely possibility. Here comes Ice Cube, what you know about that life. Where's Marshmallow? By the way, if you guys don't know who Marshmallow is, I'm a huge raver, by the way. Marshmallow liked my tweet when I tweeted him out like last week. And I said, hey, Marshmallow's going to be, that's all I care about. And Ice Cube, of course. Ice Cube's going crazy. Was this Coachella? It's Coachella. It turned into Coachella. The draft has turned in officially to Coachella. All right, let's see what he has to say. Thank you again, Spencer Bailey, for the super chat and super sticker. Thank you, Mello. Appreciate the love and support with the super chat and super sticker. I have Trayvon Walker going number 1. Let's see it happens. Can we just get this started, man? Gosh, like, what is the suspense for? Oh my gosh. All right, so it's going to be Trayvon Walker. I was hearing it's going to be Trayvon Walker or Evan Neal. Talked about this on the Relevant app. If you're watching on Relevant or listening to Relevant yesterday, we talked about it. And obviously my guy, Tom McManus, who covers the Jacksonville Jaguars over there, he was on TV, obviously. No, but we were talking about who I thought that pick would be. And I think it's going to be Trayvon Walker, having covered him, like I said, during my tenure with the San Francisco 49ers. He loves versatility. And I think, and what I've been told is, again, it's in the newsletter. I already put this out there. I think Doug Peterson would rather see a camp battle at right tackle between two second-round picks, Jawan Taylor and Walker Little. And by doing that, you're now gaining flexibility in what you do. And again, Trayvon Walker's traits check off. I graded every single snap of him at Georgia, and people would say, well, he doesn't have production. It's like, dude, if you look at where they play him, and Kirby Smart talked about this earlier today, he wasn't asked to do a lot of those things that you would see that stack up the box score. And again, don't be a box score reader. That's why I say grade the snap. If you don't know how to grade the snap, that's your bad. Grade the snap. Grade the snap. There's a lot of people out there who, oh, well, he has this thing. So grade the snap. Grade the snap. Anyways, I think it's going to be Trayvon Walker. And I said that's on April 14th. That's in having covered GM, and I tweeted this out. Check the receipt. Having covered GM Trent Baalke during my time as a 49ers beat writer, this is what he'll say about Trayvon Walker if he goes number 1, April 14th, right? 2 weeks ago. Long arm length, rare size, speed combo, can play 3 technique, 4 technique, who can 2-gap, clip, edge in 3-4, play different alignments at Georgia, all the intangibles we quote-unquote look for. That's what he's going to say about him. Boom. All right. All right, so Charles Davis is talking about the upside, which we talk about. Chris Dupa says, Cube is short as hell. You know what? I'm short. I'm short too. I'm only 5'5", bro. So I'm short. I'm probably shorter than Cube. Daniel says, I live near Coachella. Do you really? I didn't know you live near Coachella. Damn, must be freaking a madhouse, man, for you. You live near Palm Springs? That's dope. Oh, okay. Spencer says, I'll let you pick 5 to 10 live for the bet. Okay, I'm down with that. Thank you. I can do that one. I can do 5 to 10, but that's hard though, because I think there's going to be a trade inside the top 10. Can you give me some kind of leeway? If there's a trade, then that kind of screws that. I can't predict a trade. That's like impossible. But if the draft position currently stands the way it is, Spencer, and I hit 5 to 10, I think we're good for a super chat, super sticker. If I can hit it, if the draft position stays the same, if there's a trade, you can't knock me for that one. I can't predict a trade. I can't say like the Eagles won't go up and trade their 2 round 1 picks, move up in the top 10 for like wide receiver Jameson Williams. Oh, you never know. You never know. Yeah, because you know these wide receivers are going to be flying off the board from picks 11 and 15. That includes Chris Olave. That includes Garrett Wilson that can possibly climb If the Atlanta Falcons at 8 pass up on Garrett Wilson, he's going to slide down the draft board. Kayvon Thibodeau, is he going to slide, or the Atlanta Falcons going to take him as an edge rusher because the BPA is there? So we're going to see how this one plays out, but I'm down to do it. Live 5 to 10, you're on. You're on live 5 to 10. Mella says, I'm 5'6" and chubby, and when I played high school football, they used to call me Fat Rabbit because I was pretty quick for my size. Fat Rabbit? That's actually a cool nickname, Fat Rabbit. 5'6"? Were you must have been like a fullback, bro. Were you a fullback or like a linebacker? If you're fast, I'm thinking you, what, fullback? Mike linebacker? Right? What were you? I want to know what position you played, Mello. That'd be interesting. Fat Rabbit. So were you mad that you were called Fat Rabbit, or did you like that nickname? I kind of like that nickname. For instance, I didn't like when fans called me BEASTwriter. And I didn't give myself that nickname, by the way. If you guys are new to subscribing to the channel or whatever, following me, I was actually given that name by the 49ers fan base, literally because we're known as beat writers. And then they knew me from my fitness gains and see me competing and winning my shows. And then one guy's like, nah, man, you're the beast writer, not the beat writer. And I was like, oh, I don't like that name, Beast. I mean, it's kind of cliche. It's kind of like, eh. And then some of the guys at the Niners are like, nah, man, you have to go with it. You can't, that's a nickname that you earned. Like, you should embrace that. You shouldn't. I was like, nah, I wish I was called something else. And so hence 49ers Beast Rider was born. Yes, I was known as 49ers Beast Rider before Beast Rider. Just like the Facebook, now it's Facebook. You just take out the. So same thing with 49ers Beast Rider, now it's Beast Rider. But I liked it. I embraced it. I love the name. It's basically what people call me now. It's kind of funny how that works. Love it. Love it. Oh, so Mello, I'm right. See? Mello said he did play fullback. See? I could be a scout, man. I don't even know what you look. I don't know. I just fullback. Bam. Fullback and defensive end. Okay. So not a Mike linebacker, but a defensive end. I did get fullback right. That's crazy. 1 out of 2. Not bad. All right. Trayvon Walker, can you go ahead and just walk up the stage, man? Now watch it be Aiden Hutchinson or Evan Neal. Watch this. Watch me be wrong. The funny thing about this. Chris Dupa says they're really going to take the whole time to make this pick. I know. All right. So let's see what's going on, Spencer. Let's see who they pick at 1. I got to do curls, right? If I get this right. Or do you guys want me to eat a Rice Krispie treat? I'll be eating like 15, 16 Rice Krispie treats if I get each one right. And I'm going to throw up on this freaking live stream probably. Literally almost did it with a pizza. Come on. Okay, you have the number 1 overall pick. Why the suspense? Like, you have the number 1 overall pick. It's not like you're playing the guessing game on who you're going to select. I mean, you kind of knew 2 weeks out who you're going to target. Like, it's so stupid. It's just a waste of our time. It's like, let's put it this way. If you don't know who you're picking by now, you should be fired as a GM. Like, what is it? Oh my gosh. It's not like draft day with Kevin Costner and Jennifer Gardner where you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. Should we take Vontae Mack? I don't know. What do we Vontae Mack no matter what? Oh gosh. Come on. Hurry up, dude. Trayvon Walker. Hurry. Boom! Here we go. What'd I say? Trayvon Walker all day, son. Wow. He says, a spoonful of mayo if you get it wrong. If right, I'll send a tip. Well, I got it right. You got to send a tip, bro. You got to send a tip because I got it right. Trayvon Walker, bro. Trayvon Walker was the pick. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Now, that's probably the only one I'm going to get right. I'm joking, but now I got to do some curls. But the only thing with that is I got to get my stuff out. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, so we're just going to do curls right now. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the wrong way to do a curl. My coach, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, coach, but you can't really get it in frame. Like I can't stand up and do it. So I'm just going to do this. Like you guys really can't even see this. Or no, you can. See, if I go like this, it goes out of frame. He's talking about 35-inch arms, but what about my 20-inch pythons? I'm joking. That's what Paul Gutierrez from who used to cover the 49ers with me with the 49ers. Now he's with the Raiders. He said, oh, look at those 20-inch pythons. My man PG. Hope you're doing well with the Las Vegas Raiders over there. Thank you. Got the super sticker. Chris Dupas. Mahalo for the love, man. I see you. I appreciate it, man. No, it really means a lot with the super chat and super stickers for the love and support. Like I said, I'm going to be on here till like 9 p.m. So it really keeps it worthwhile. Not just by the money, obviously, not super chat and super sticker. And I understand not everyone can do that. So just smash the like button if you're crossing this channel, or drop a comment. That's free, and that's all I really ask for. The engagement, right? Drop a like button, drop a comment if you can. Yes, a super chat, super sticker would be definitely worthwhile for me. But if not, it's all good, dude. I'm not one of those guys like, yes, you have to send me a super chat or else. It's like, no, man, like if you want to do it, you can do it. If not, all good. But if you do appreciate the work and you can afford to do so, send me a super chat, super sticker. Mahalo for the love. All right, so this pick is going to be Aiden Hutchinson, guys. All right, so this is what I was hearing. Aiden Hutchinson would be the pick at 2. Again, in the newsletter, I went ahead and broke this down as to why. Obviously, it's kind of like a no-brainer. Michael McCann says, Mela says, got to love it. BEASTwriter doing curls with ease, and I pull a muscle getting out of my recliner. You know what? It's really hard for me to do that. I'm old. I hurt my back doing squats last week. Legit last week, and I couldn't get out of bed. It was really bad. So I feel your pain, man. I know how that can happen because it has happened to me too, and I have no shame. Like it happens. Like lower back pain happens. It's one of those things that happens to all of us as we age. I'm using age as an excuse, but it happens. So happens to the best of us. All right, this is a bit Aiden Hutchinson, right? Come on. Boom! Boom! 2 for 2. What you know about that live? Bam! Look at that. All right, so another one. These two are really easy. Now it gets tough. I'm probably going to get wrong. I'm probably going to get wrong. No, I'm probably going to get this one wrong when it comes to the next pick. So I don't know how many curls you guys want me to do, but and this is a wrong way to curl, by the way. I'm just doing it so you guys can see it in the frame. Usually you have to hang it lower. Unless I'm doing cable curls like this, then I'd be like, yeah, that'd be cool, huh? If I had some cables right here and I could just do it like this, that'd be better. But I have to do it with the free weights because I don't have cable curl. It's like, who has an attachment to a cable curl? It's just like, yeah, I wake up in the morning and just do this all the time. It's like, oh, the bathroom's that way. Like, nah, dude. Like, what are you doing? All right. My man JP says, hurt my ribs doing squats, oddly enough. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful with the squat game. He said it was a push day today. Okay. So you're doing a lot of what? Bench press? Tricep push downs? Skull crushers? Chris Dupas says, wow, Houston is picking a receiver. All right, this is who I got. I know I'm going to get this one wrong, but hopefully Spencer says, man, a lot of people hearing on Twitter that Debo is gone. I don't know if it's a rumor. Well, I told you guys that I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen. Like I said, I talked about it on Twitter. Look, Twitter Spaces, I should say, he doesn't want to be there. That's just the truth, my man. He doesn't want to be there. All right. So I have the Houston Texans going after Evan Neal. I'm probably going to get this one wrong. Just PSA. I'm probably going to get this one wrong simply because everyone has Ikem Ekwonu as the higher rated offensive tackle. So I can see why they would go that way, which is going to freaking screw up my mock draft because at 5, obviously, I think Charles Cross might be the pick with the New York Giants or Evan Neal. But they're going to go offensive tackle. But right now, I think I'm going to get Evan Neal wrong. I think I'm going to get wrong. But I plugged Evan Neal because I have a feeling that I might get it right. Now watch me be wrong. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Braden Springer says you should do curl for ones you miss, not ones you get. I could do that too. I could do curls for the ones I get right, for the ones I get wrong, and everything in between. I love curling. I curl all day. I can curl all day, literally. I curl 70-pound dumbbells. Luckily, these aren't 70-pound dumbbells. Because if they were, I'd be like, nah, man, let's just stick with the ones I get right. All right, let's see what's going to happen. Houston Texans are likely to go offensive tackle. I'm telling you. Now watch it be Derek Stingley. If they choose an offensive tackle, it's going to be, I wanted to say Evan Neal. That's who I have. I plugged and played it there. Now it's going to be Ikem Ekwonu. That's what I'll report. All the national media saying Ikem Ekwonu. We're going to have to see what this pick is. We're going to have to find out. But I have, as of right now, Evan Neal because, again, I see the comparables to Isaiah Wynn. Houston Texans don't like to leak out anything. GM Nick Caserio, coming from the Bill Belichick tree, doesn't like to leak anything. As far as pre-draft visits, private workouts, conversations, all-star games, all that stuff that take place, they really hide their interest. So I'm going Evan Neal. And no one in the national media is saying Evan Neal. I'm the only one that's saying Evan Neal. I say Evan Neal. What I say, see, Charles Davis just echoed my analysis that I talked about before this live stream started. That what? The draft starts at 3. Wow. So check off a beast receipt. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I'm saying, see, I'm not making any of this stuff up. That's why you guys are in here, man. See, I'm just saying that's just different. Just different. Okay, ooh, what we got here? All right. So I think the draft starts at 3. They're going to go Ikem Ekwonu. I have Evan Neal. I think it's Evan Neal. Oh, they went Derek Stingley Jr. Wow. So that's the highest rated cornerback since Jeff Okudah was drafted by the Detroit Lions, who ironically just went 1 pick earlier and drafted Aiden Hutchinson. Derek Stingley now becomes the 7th cornerback in the last 22 drafts, going back to 2000 to be drafted inside the top 5. Furthermore, he's the 2nd highest rated cornerback to be drafted since 2000, since Jeff Okudah. All right. Only 2 cornerbacks were drafted number 3 or higher overall. Derek Stingley is one of them. Derek Stingley over Ahmad Gardner, ridiculous. Ridiculous. I like it. I like his upside. All pro potential, like I said in the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. But again, you're basing it on 2019 film. I covered him since 2019, his true freshman year. You guys know this if you follow me since 2019. It's just one of those things where you are banking on his ceiling rather than Ahmad Gardner, who is the more surefire thing. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Wow. That is crazy, guy. I'm telling you, that is nuts. Wow. Wow. You better hope Derek Stingley is going to be an all-pro player because honestly, all I see is flashes of a Pro Bowl player. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is a huge, huge. Now, there's people that had Derek Stingley mocked there. So kudos to you guys, right? That had Derek Stingley mocked there. I just think drafting a cornerback that high, you have to have a conviction of a guy because, again, at 3, you're banking on his 2019 film rather than his overall production. And again, he had so many different injuries, right, throughout his career. And I graded every single snap of Derek Stingley that I had got my hands on in terms of film, right? I have grades of him. I actually broke it down. In fact, I can pull it up right now. Let me pull up his game grades, and I can go ahead and talk to you exactly. If you guys don't have the newsletter, I'll go ahead and shed some light on my thoughts on Derek Stingley. I covered him since 2019 to 2021 and pull up those game grades for you guys. I am shocked. I am shocked. Wow. For instance, all right, so it's loading. All right, so this is what I said in the newsletter, right? He graded out a 4.0. I mean, I only graded two games of him from last year. He had a Lisfranc foot injury, right? He had a concussion before, dealt with COVID, right? So he's been dealing with a lot of stuff throughout his career. But in 2 games that I graded last year, just on 2021, I graded him. I have some 2019 grades I can pull up, but for the sake of this live stream, let's just go off relevant information. One play, well, that's all relevant, but one play single-handedly affected his grade against UCLA, right? When you look at that game, it was a 45-yard touchdown that he gave up against UCLA. And then he gave up a 78-yard touchdown in week 3 against Central Michigan. So he gave up a 45-yard touchdown and a 78-yard touchdown in the only 2 games that I graded of him in 2021. 2019, different story, guys. 2019, different story. But again, he's inconsistent from off-zone coverage leading to big plays. That's what I saw in his game. He's slow to diagnose route concepts, whether it's playing zone coverage. He kind of looks lost. I posted some game film up of some cut-ups, I guess you would call them, on Twitter. So you guys can go ahead and just search that and type in my name, BEASTwriter, and stuff will pop up. His tackling technique does need a little work. But overall, wow. Like I said, he's inconsistent, right? He had a concussion. He had an illness. He was dealing with a leg injury, Lisfranc injury. I mean, the guy has just been damaged goods since 2019. And so for me to take a guy that high at number 3, you got to be not only banking on his all-pro potential, but you got to make sure that he's going to hit that all-pro potential. That is crazy for me. And I know you have draft flexibility because you're sitting there and you have the 13th overall pick, GM Nick Caserio, but really, why would you want to take on that risk? Oh, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, I do like Derek Stingley. He does have all-pro potential. I do see that. I do see those traits converting. But can he be consistent? I don't know. That was a head scratcher for me. All right, so at number 4, I have New York Jets taking Ahmad Gardner, guys. That's who I have. Lunar says, I'm not saying Stingley is bad. I'm saying from his injury history and availability. Yeah. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. So this is going to be Ahmad Gardner. And all signs that I've been told is it's going to be Ahmad Gardner at number 4. They're happy. They're ecstatic that, trust me, covered Robert Saleh during his time in San Francisco. Obviously, guys know how I broke the news on the New York Jets offering number 10 for Deebo Samuel. You guys get the picture. The same intel told me that Deebo Samuel, that Sauce Gardner would be the pick at number 4. If you guys subscribe to my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, you guys know I had him mocked there all along, right? From 2 weeks out. Actually longer than that, 3 weeks out, 2.0 to the final mock draft. It's going to be Sauce Gardner. They're very happy. They didn't think that he would be available. Really, they thought that the Texans might go Sauce Gardner. And so now that they took Derek Stingley, all signs reported that it was Derek Stingley. This was an easy pick. The card's in. It's going to be Ahmad Gardner. Now watch it be Kayvon Thibodeau. All right. So here we go, guys. They get the best cornerback in this entire draft class right now at number 4. And if you're GM Joe Douglas and if you're my man Robert Saleh, man, you got to be happy with this one. Let's go. All gas, no break. Let's go. New York Jets. Come on. Ahmad Gardner at number 4. Here we go. Again, all signs and everything that I was told, it's going to be Ahmad Gardner at number 4. If it's anything other than that, I would be superly surprised. Boom. All right, here we go. It's Sauce. BEASTwriter Plus newsletter. So I hit 3 out of 4, guys. I'm hot. I hit 3 out of 4 picks, right? So I'm okay right now. Or I'm okay right now. But Derek Stingley. Oh my gosh. All right, but to play Spencer, my guy Spencer said I have leeway on picks 1 through 5. I can do it live. So my guy Spencer right here, my guy Spencer says he'll send me a super chat if I can nail 5 to 10 picks live for the bet. All right, cool. Let's see if I can do this. But look at Sauce Gardner, man. This is the guy that you really want. Sauce Gardner. The Giants could definitely get Ikem Ekwonu here. That's who I have mocked at number 5. I have Ikem Ekwonu mocked here. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we're going to find out. So I got the first 2 picks right. Missed on Evan Neal. It ended up being Derek Stingley. Everyone got that one wrong. Well, not everyone. I take that back. I'm already losing my voice. I can feel it. That's not good. That is not good. I'm losing my voice. But I think Ikem Ekwonu is going to go here. I really think Ikem Ekwonu, he's too good a value right now to not select him right here. I mean, he arguably is a top-rated offensive tackle. And you have your choice of Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, or Charles Cross. The funny thing about this is now you have a cluster of 3 players that otherwise I don't think the Giants thought they would be available. I thought the Giants definitely thought, okay, well, Ikem Ekwonu will definitely be off the board, so we'll have a choice of Charles Cross or Evan Neal at 5. But now you have all 3 guys available. So do you want, now you're playing the draft position game that I talked about in the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter when you cross-check the vertical board versus the horizontal board, and then you check draft position and the team that's drafting behind you, Carolina Panthers, before you're on the clock at number 6. They need an offensive tackle. They also need an edge rusher. Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't know what's going to go on with him. I have no idea where he's going to be. I have him falling to number 9 to Seattle. But the way this is all playing out, the stars are aligned for the Giants to possibly move back. I mean, look, you can move back a couple spots if you wanted to, still get the cluster of players that you felt are worthy of where you were drafting at number 7. The thing with that is you don't want to fall back too far down to where you're going to be missing or taking a risk on a cluster of player that you otherwise could have had at 7. Spencer says, bet starts now, Beast. All right, so here we go. All right, so right now at number 5, crazy. This is crazy, man. I'm going to go, gosh, this is such a hard one now because I didn't think Evan Neal was going to be on the board. Now I have Ikem Ekwonu. Okay, Giants are going to go offensive tackle. That's all I know. Giants are going to go offensive tackle. I'm going to go, I'll probably get this one wrong. I'm going to go offensive tackle. I think it's going to be offensive tackle. I'm going to say it's Ikem Ekwonu. Now, watch it be Charles Cross. I heard they're really high on Charles Cross. All intel that I've been told is they're really high on Charles Cross. Why? Because he's the best pass protector in this year's draft class. So if you're looking for a pure pass protector, you can see a guy like Charles Cross making his way. Now, you didn't see him being a run mauler of a like you see in Ike Ekwonu, because that's not his game. He wasn't asked to do that. He was asked to pass protect. Now, on the flip side of that, you get Ike Ekwonu, who's just the best phone booth guy there is in this entire draft class. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what do you want to do? You want the best pure pass protector, and then you can teach him how to run, teach him the run game, or do you want to do vice versa? You want a guy in the run game and kind of have a guy who's decent in pass protection. Like Ike Ekwonu is decent. He's not like great in pass pro. So Spencer, I'm just going to let you know, I probably will get this one wrong because I know it's going to be an offensive tackle. I have a feeling it's going to be an offensive tackle. I just don't know which one's going to fly off the board. But if I had to take a guess, I think it's going to be Ike Ekwonu. But the way it's looking right now, based on the war room, it looks like they're not ecstatic. Like you don't see them jumping up and down as if they were hoping a player to fall to them. So maybe this guy is Charles Cross. Maybe they had Cross ranked higher on their board all along. Usually when you look at that war room, you see them like, oh yeah, we got him. Whoa, can't believe he was there. Like, oh my gosh, like he fell. Like they went after Derek Stingley. We got Sauce Gardner. Oh my gosh. Like you're not seeing that. So I don't know. Let's see. Spencer Bailey says, who you got? Grant Reiser says Evan Neal. Let's see. Who is this guy? All right, can you just make the pick, bro? Oh my gosh. Feeling stronger than ever, as you can see. Tonight, his wish to announce the Giants' first pick comes true. We hope this wish will be a They went after Kayvon Thibodeau. Wow, they drafted Kayvon Thibodeau. That is huge. Wow. 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 Kayvon Thibodeau, really? All right. Well, now it's getting crazy, guys, because Ike Ekwonu is still on the board. So the Carolina Panthers, they can go after Ike Ekwonu if they wanted to, or Evan Neal. Wow. 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 Hold on. Wow, that's some crazy ass stuff, man. Kayvon Thibodeau at 5. I don't know, man. This is all crazy, man. Especially, oh well, I'm about to order pizza with the 20. Do that, man. Make sure you get round table, bro. No, actually, my best pizza. I don't know where you live at, bro, but like in the South Bay, I'm telling you, High Five Pizza, bro, is the place to go, man. High Five Pizza off Brandon Lane. It's the place to go, man, here in the South Bay. Best pizza, man. Shout out to High Five Pizza, where I used to hold my 49ers draft parties, held all my 49ers events. Did a really good job when I held high-profile players there. Really gave me my own section in the back there. So shout out to High Five Pizza for always taking care of Beast, man. Appreciate it. Chris Dupas. Why the hell did they not get a protector? Giants are terrible. Yeah. Spencer Bailey says, draft is nuts already. Giants said F Daniel Jones blindside. Yeah, basically, right? They didn't pick up his option. They're like, we don't care about Daniel Jones if he gets injured. He's not going to be on the roster after 2022 anyways. He's damaged goods. Yeah. So Andrew Thomas, and that's pretty much it. Mark Lewinsky, right? They have Mark Lewinsky, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? But yeah, that's crazy. The funny thing about this is Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't know about that one. I'm not so sure I'm happy about that one. But hey, whatever. That's Joe Shane. That's his business. I have Carolina Panthers taking Charles Cross here. Obviously, this is going to be wrong because look, Evan Neal's still on the board. Ikem Ekwonu's still on the board. Charles Cross is still on the board. I thought both of those offensive tackles would be off the board by the time the Carolina Panthers pick at number 6, and a lot of national media did. It's not happening. But as it currently stands, I hit on 3 picks. Not bad. Again, I told you already before this draft even started, this is the hardest draft that I have ever had to try to predict since 2015, simply because it's not a strong draft class. It's not very strong. So you're going to see a lot of teams reaching for need, diminishing the value of the pick. Right now, we're not seeing that. I guess some people can say Derek Stingley is somewhat of a reach because they're banking on his potential. Same thing with Kayvon Thibodeau. But you guys knew that he was going to, those were top 10 players, right? Were they top 5 players? I would say no. Not in my opinion. But again, so a slightly bit of a reach, but it's not surprising. It would be surprising if a guy like Trevor Penning went inside the top 10. It would be surprising if a guy like Devin Lloyd went inside the top 10. It would be surprising if like a Jordan Davis went inside the top 10. Kyle Hamilton went inside the top 10. Those guys would be surprising if they went inside the top 10. Not Derek Stingley, not Kayvon Thibodeau. So although I have yet to hit, well, I shouldn't say I have yet to hit. I hit on 3 out of the 5, but 3 for 5 is not bad. But the reason why I'm not 5 for 5 like I was last year is because, again, this is not a very strong draft class. And it's not like, and you see teams reaching for need, like Houston Texans. Like you could have had probably Derek Stingley in the 6 to like honestly, I could see them definitely at 9, like for real. I thought that was Derek Stingley's floor. Said in the BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, I thought Derek Stingley, the highest he would get drafted, because I wasn't buying the smoke with the Texans, and now obviously I was wrong. But I thought, okay, if not the Texans, he would fall all the way at least to 9 to Seattle. And so when the Texans made that power play move to get him at 3, I mean, hey, look, you must think he is a true shutdown Hall of Fame cornerback, because you don't draft a guy at 3. And again, since 2000, right? How many cornerbacks were drafted inside the top 5? 6. Only 6. So that's some interesting stuff right there. That is some interesting stuff. All right. Lunar Mystic says, I'm guessing number 6 is Evan Neal. Yeah. You know what? Well, I already have my picks up, so I can't change it. I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not one of those guys that says one thing and then, you guys know me, I keep it 100. Like, I'll call myself out. In this case, calling myself out. Giants got Kayvon Thibodeau. I was wrong. Houston Texans got Derek Stingley. I was wrong. Other ones were right. Carolina Panthers probably going to go after Evan Neal. So again, I got the position right, but I was wrong. My batting average is 500 after this pick. It's a little bit higher now, but after this pick, probably below 500. All right, so it's going to be one of those things where I don't know how this draft, I told you guys this draft is going to be crazy before it got started. Spencer Bailey says, do Niners move in for the Debo trade for Jets number 10 based on how the draft is going now? I would. I definitely would. Look, no wide receiver is off the board yet, which I predicted, by the way. You really didn't think the Jets were going to take a wide receiver at 4 in the cream of the crop draft class, right? No, that's not GM Joe Douglas's MO. He goes BPA coming from the Aussie Newsome tree, which I talked about in the Beastwriter Plus newsletter. But that being said, right now, the way it's looking, the Carolina Panthers, I don't see them drafting a wide receiver, right? Like, do you realistically see the Carolina Panthers drafting a wide receiver? I don't see it happening. So they have DJ Moore there. They have pieces in place there. What exact? They have Terrace Marshall, who they drafted, I believe it was in the second round last year, right? Out of LSU. So they have pieces in place there. They have a young fountain of youth. The question remains to be seen what's going to happen with this pick. Do they trade out? Because as you guys know, I said this was a hot spot for a trade in the Beastwriter Plus newsletter. All right, so this could be a hot spot for a trade because they need draft capital because they don't have any day 2 picks. So if they're not going to go after a quarterback, if you don't have a conviction of a guy at 6, why not trade back into the teens if you have to and get the guy that you can get in a cluster of players that you want, but then again, pick up draft capital in return. So that's my thing. So they go after Ikem Ekwonu. So I knew it was going to be an offensive tackle. All right, so I'll take that as a win. I got the position right, just the wrong player. So that's pretty hard to nail, right? Out of 22 positions, you get one right on that pick. So yes, I would say this is a win in my book. Obviously, I had Charles Cross mocked there because I had Ikem Ekwonu going one pick earlier to the New York Giants. I think when you talk to GM Scott Fitter in the presser after this is over, Carolina Panthers beat writers, I guarantee he's going to say we didn't expect Ikem Ekwonu to be there at number 6, and we were thrilled that he was there sitting at number 6 when we were on the board. All right, so we got Ikem Ekwonu here. All right, so sitting here again on the board, they're not going to go Jermaine Johnson, right? Because they already got Kayvon Thibodeau. So I already screwed this one up. I already screwed this up because it's not going to be Jermaine Johnson, but I already made that pick. So I thought they were going to go offensive lineman, then edge rusher. They decided to go edge rusher. Now they're probably going to go offensive lineman. I think this pick is going to be Evan Neal. I think this is going to be Evan Neal or Charles Cross. This has to be the pick right now. Evan Neal or Charles Cross. It's not going to be Jermaine Johnson, but here we are sitting today that this is what it's going to be, right? It's Evan Neal. Or this draft is crazy. I'm just like, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Charles Cross. Now the question to me is, which one do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Evan Neal or Charles Cross? I think it's going to be one of these guys. The answer is, which one do you guys think it's going to be? Initially, I had Jermaine Johnson. That's not going to be the pick. So Evan Neal or Charles Cross, that would be my likely scenario here. If I had to take a guess, I think they go Evan Neal. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. All the pancakes. I'm getting hungry. I thought he was talking about food. He's talking about offensive linemen pancaking defenders. All right. So Chris Dupa says they're going to go wide receiver. That'd be crazy if they went wide receiver because they have Kadarius Toney, who, by the way, I don't think they're going to go and trade him. My man Spencer says Kyle Hamilton would look good in Niners jersey, low key. Yeah, it would. Absolutely. I like Kyle Hamilton. Now, in my BEASTwriter Plus newsletter, do I think he's a top 10 talent? No, I have him in the 12 to 17 range in any given draft. However, in this week draft class, yeah, he's a top 10 pick. But in any other given draft, 12 to 17 would be my range for a guy like Kyle Hamilton, who I have going to the Houston Texans at number 13 if they stay put. All right, so they go Evan Neal. No surprise here. As the way the draft is unfolding, that's how I saw it playing out. Obviously, they went Evan Neal here. In my opinion, I like Evan Neal better than I like Ikem Ekwonu and better than I like Charles Cross. I think Evan Neal is the best offensive tackle in this entire draft class. Now, watch me be wrong. I like Evan Neal, maybe because I'm an Alabama Roll Tide Roll fan, or maybe because I've been following him since his rise from interior guard to right tackle to left tackle, filling in for Garrett Wilson and Alex Leatherwood, and starting as an interior guard before that. But I like what Evan Neal brings to the table. I really do. Now, he does have some kind of movement skills when he hits the second level. He struggled in 2020, got a little bit better in 2021 on hitting that second level, but I like Evan Neal. I think this is a great pickup by Joe Shane. I think that this is a nice, again, building team from the inside out, not the outside in. You see him solidifying the trenches on both sides of the football, getting a defensive front seven player on pick number 5, and then rolling with an offensive tackle at pick number 7. Now you have Andrew Thomas, and now you have Evan Neal protecting Daniel Jones, who is basically not going to be on the team next year. Yeah. So take that for what it's worth. All right. So at number 8, what happens here? Well, I'm probably going to get this one wrong. No, I'm going to go with wide receiver Garrett Wilson, guys. I like Garrett Wilson here. He is a player that I think is going to be high on the Atlanta Falcons draft board. He's sitting there. The draft board doesn't really affect how they were really viewing the vertical board based on their team needs. And when you look at their team needs, they can, obviously they need an offensive tackle, but you just saw 2 go back-to-back, Ikem Ekwonu, and then you also saw Evan Neal coming off the board. Do they go after a guy like Charles Cross? I just don't see it. I don't see, you go after a guy like Charles Cross. I don't see it. I think you go after a wide receiver because you don't know what's going to happen with Calvin Ridley. It's the same problem that the Pittsburgh Steelers having with Stephon Tuitt, the mental health aspect. Are they going to be returning, right? Like, are these guys, like, what's their mental state? Like, we don't know. So again, you have to have an insurance policy in place. And when you have your cream of the crop in a deep wide receiver draft class, although it is a deep draft class, sitting there at number 8, and you have your pick your poison of whoever you want, why not go after the guy that you really wanted all along in Garrett Wilson? So, or Jameson Williams, or whatever wide receiver that you feel fits your scheme best, right? So that's how I see this one playing out. I think it's going to be Garrett Wilson. I think that's going to be the sound play for Terry Fontenot, but we're gonna have to find out. So right now, as it currently stands, I hit on 3 picks and I missed on 4 picks. So my batting average is not very. My batting average right now is 3 for 7. But I did hit on the position, just the wrong player. So I guess that's a win. I guess I can say 3.5 out of 7. So the question is, what do the freaking Seahawks do? I think the Seahawks might go Trevor Penning. I really do. I think they might go Trevor Penning, the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to do something crazy, man. Seahawks can go Jermaine Johnson here. I think that Jermaine Johnson will be a good fit. Like I said, I tweeted this out. I think Jermaine Johnson for the Seattle Seahawks at number 9. Now we have to wait till what pick number 8 is. But if Jermaine Johnson is not drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Seattle Seahawks would be a good fit for Jermaine Johnson, who, by the way, are transitioning to a 34 base from a 43 front. He could end up being the best pure pass rusher in this entire draft class. Tweeted it out. Mello says this is definitely an interesting draft. It is. It is very difficult, man. Braden Springer says, is defense or offensive players have harder time to translate? And in your opinion, it's hard. I think they're both equally hard because I can't say one is harder than the other. Again, the quarterback position by default is going to be the hardest position. Offensive center is the hardest position because you have to be the quarterback of the offensive line. Flip side of that, the Mike linebacker has to get everybody in place. Same with the strong safety on the back end. So there's a lot of different variables there. Let's get to the pick. Wow, it's Drake London. Okay, so they get Drake London. So I got the position right. I'm pretty good. I'm happy with this. I'm getting the position right, but the player wrong. I'm okay with that. That means I'm hot, right? Because I don't know what their draft board is. Like, no one's going to show me their draft board. Like, who does that? Actually, I did see one draft board before. But for the most part, I don't see draft boards. All right, so the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks are on the board. What do? I think it could be Seattle. I think they can go this. I think they can do Jermaine Johnson. Don't be surprised if it's Jermaine Johnson. All right, so the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. They always reach for a player. I wouldn't be surprised if they reach for Trevor Penning or a guy like Charles. Well, Charles Cross is still on the board, so I can see Charles Cross being the guy as well. So, offensive tackle, pick your poison. It could be any one of the tackles that are still on board, or Jermaine Johnson. Ideally, I think they would like to trade down. I described this in my Beastwriter Plus newsletter on the reasons why, but I think it's going to be offensive tackle or Jermaine Johnson. This is how I see this one playing out. So, with that being said, look for that to be in play. Jermaine Johnson would be a nice edge rusher. I think that would be a nice find right here, especially at pick number 10. But Drake London to me is a big bodied receiver. You know, he's 6'4, 219, like you see on the screen. The one thing that I will say about Drake London's game is he's not a speed demon. He's not going to take the top off of a defense, right? He's not going to threaten that safety. He just doesn't have that deep speed. He doesn't have that second gear. I just think that he's a big bodied receiver between the 20s, but he's more of a position receiver to me than anything else. All right. All right, so what did the Seahawks do here, guys? That's the question. All right, so they're happy. I wonder who they got. All right, so what do you guys got? Who do you guys got for the Seattle Seahawks? That's gonna be interesting. Drop your comments on the Seattle Seahawks. Let's play this game, man, because I can't be the only one getting this stuff wrong. I mean, I did get 3 right. I did hit on 2 players, or sorry, 2 positions, just the wrong player. So technically, I'm 4 for 8? So I'm 50%, but that ain't good. That's not good. 50% is bad. No, I'm joking. That's not bad. I'm actually doing pretty well considering, like I said, this is the hardest draft for me to predict since 2015. Kayvon Thibodeau at number 5 really screwed stuff up. That really screwed up my mock. What are the Seattle Seahawks going to do? They need an offensive tackle. Dwayne Brown's not there, so obviously that can be a team-based need pick. You have Charles Cross still on the board. I think Charles Cross would be a perfect need-based pick where need meets best player available, because I don't think a lot of people thought Charles Cross was going to screech outside the top 10. I heard a lot of buzz that the Giants were really high on Charles Cross. A lot of national media was also reporting that the Giants were high on Charles Cross. He's still on board. You have, after him, you see a significant drop-off in the offensive tackle position. There's a huge drop-off from the first 3 offensive tackles and then Trevor Penning. So if you're doing the math and you're looking at the horizontal board and then you're cross-checking it with your needs and then the vertical board, you're looking at, okay, so based on our needs, if we take Charles Cross here, is that better served than maybe taking another player at another position and based on what's out there, right? Based on our needs, based on the vertical board, and what we can expect to get the next time we're on the clock. So when you look at it, could this pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Malik Willis, by the way, went on record already right before hopping on this YouTube live stream on Twitter Spaces. I say, you know what? Seahawks like to reach for need in round 1. Ideally, they like to trade down too. But if they stick with a pick, it could be Malik Willis for all I know. Could be Trevor Penning for all I know. It's going to be something crazy for all I know. Now watch it be, look, they have a need for an inside linebacker. No one's talking about my boy, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean, if you're watching, my boy, we follow each other on Twitter. If you're watching this, man, they could really use you because you know who they lost? Bobby Wagner. You would be an instant plug and play, 5'11", 229, and a 3-4 defense for Pete Carroll up in Seattle. Let me tell you, Seattle has the loudest stadium. Trust me, I worked in the press box. It's loud. It is the 12th man gets loud and rowdy. You would love it there in Seattle. And they're one of the loudest stadiums out there, man. KC obviously is up there too. Kansas City, very, very loud. But I can see Seattle making now that would not be a reach need pick, by the way. I think Nakobe Dean is the best defensive player in this entire draft class. But based on the national media, they're going to say, oh, well, that's a reach need based pick. I'm like, no, man, like that's Nakobe Dean. Go turn on the film. The guy is number 1 defensive player in my grading system. He's number 17 on Mel Kiper's rankings, right? I think he's in top 20 in Todd McShay's rankings. He's in the top 20 in a lot of the national media's rankings, and yet he is not projected to go in round 1. That is so crazy to me. Like, what? Because he's 5'11", 229. So is Zach Thomas. So is Sam Mills. So was Chris Borland. So was London Fletcher. We can go on and on and on. We can play this height, weight, speed game all we want. At the end of the day, can they turn on the film? Can the guy play? Yes. Okay. Cool story, bro. Don't make it hard on yourself. Draft the best player available, Nakobe Dean. I want to see my boy Nakobe Dean go in round 1. I'm just going to be happy when that happens. All right. Let's see what happens here. All right, they look like they're ecstatic. John Snyder's on the phone with the guy who they drafted. Hey, let me get coach for you. Okay, we're going to make the pick. Okay, cool. All right, I'm telling you right now. You see him in the upper right-hand corner. Who is it? There they go. Offensive tackle Charles Cross. That was in my original mock draft. Charles Cross. I said they're going to go offensive tackle. They did. They got Charles Cross. I don't think, like I said before the pick was made, I didn't think they think he was available at 9. There's a possibility, but based on the way the mocks were looking and stacking up, it didn't really look that way. But they went ahead and got Charles Cross. I like it. I like this pick. They got the replacement. Now, Dwayne Brown's watching this, and he's saying, you know what? Okay, cool. Because he's not the left tackle anymore. Dwayne Brown's gone. All right, so now that Charles Cross is off, so now we're talking. Well, Jets. The Jets got Drake London, so obviously this is going to be interesting right here, guys. I think this pick, and I know this sounds crazy, guys. All right, call me crazy on this pick. All right, when it comes to the New York Jets, call me crazy. I think they're going to go after a guy, and this is my favorite wide receiver in the entire draft class, maybe because I'm a Roll Tide Roll fan. I think the New York Jets are going to go after and make a play for Jameson Williams. Torn ACL, Jameson Williams. And look, this is the reason why. They have Corey Davis there already, right? They already have Corey Davis there. They have Braxton Berrios, who they just resigned, and they have last year's round 2 slot wide receiver Elijah Moore. That's 3 wide receivers. Now, Braxton Berrios is more of a return specialist. I get it. Kind of like, I don't know, Ray McLeod. If you're a Niner fan or a Steeler fan, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Some guy who's a return guy, but he's more of a return guy than a wide receiver guy. By the way, would there be a position for that? Yeah, it's called Eric Metcalf. Sitting here with the New York Jets, I think the Jameson Williams thing is an actual real thing. I think Jameson Williams goes to the New York Jets right now rather than drafting a guy like Chris Olave sitting here in round 1. I think the pick is going to be Jameson Williams. Lunar Mystic says, you think they're getting Williams? Wow, that's a good one. He says, I was thinking Wilson. Wilson could also be the pick.
Logo turns to a San Francisco logo, which would blow the roof off of this entire city. But of course, there's lots to get through from physicals and contracts and talking to him about his usage. But that's for potentially
everything that Rich Eisen touched on right now. We talked about it here on Twitter and also on the YouTube live stream before hopping on. So again, usage, contract situations, physicals, all those things weren't adding up at the time. As it gets closer, it's harder to make a deal. And here we are. But Debo wants out. This does not dismiss that Debo does not want out of San Francisco. They have to pay him. He needs to get paid, compensated.
Just keep this in mind, though, along the Debo Samuel conversation. Last year, the 10th pick was Devontae Smith, the wide receiver out of Alabama, to Philly. His average per year is $5 million. So if you're the Jets and you want a wide receiver, well, I love Debo Samuel, man, you can get a heck of a discount if you get one right here. Remember, the offensive line was still a consideration, too, until Charles Cross came off the board. Now the top 3 tackles are off the board.
All right, guys, if you guys are watching this, hit the like button. If you guys have been watching this, I don't know how long, hit the like button. Do me a solid. Also, if you feel inclined to send me a super chat or want to send me a super chat or super sticker, please feel free to do that. I'll be doing this live stream for as long as I can. I want to do it for 5 hours straight. But at the same time, this is not looking. No, I'm joking. I'm probably gonna do it for 5 hours straight. But they're going so dang slow to this year. I don't know why they're doing that. Chris Dupas says, as long as it ain't Debo, I'm good. All right, so they take Garrett Wilson. All right, the pick is Garrett Wilson. So again, I got the player right. Sorry, I got the position right, not the player. All right, so here we go. So I got 3 picks right. Let's do a review. I got 3 picks right. I had on Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, and Ahmad Gardner. I missed on Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, Jermaine Johnson. These are this is who I had drafted, by the way. Kayvon Thibodeau. Right? I had Evan Neal going to the Houston Texans. That really screwed up my mock. Not really. Ikem Ekwonu going to the New York Giants. They took Kayvon Thibodeau there. So, and the other guys I got that I missed, the other 3 that I missed, I got the position right, just the incorrect player. So I'm down with that. I think that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Again, out of 22 positions and you get 1 right, that's pretty good. Just got the wrong player wrong. All right, so it's gonna be interesting. What are the Commanders gonna do? That's what I want to know. Grand Rider says, if I'm one of these NFL teams like the Jets and Debo Samuel, I would whatever it takes to get him because he's special. Okay, the Commanders have a trade. We have a trade. The Commanders are trading back. The Commanders are trading back. We have a trade. Washington trades back. We have a trade, guys. Wow, they're trading back from number 11. Okay, so the Washington Commanders are now trading back from number 11. So they're not on the clock. So again, I told you trades were going to happen. Every year it does. Not a surprise to anyone, but it does screw up the mock draft. It does screw up the mock draft a little bit. So if the Commanders are probably sitting here being like, yeah, let's try to trade back, get more draft capital. Because if you look at what they need a wide receiver, they need interior guard help, they need an offensive center, outside linebacker, they need a cornerback. So again, if you're looking at where they stand and they're sitting there saying, hey, look, there's a cluster of players that we can get in the late teen range, and we can pick up more draft capital. Let's get more darts at the board and fill some needs before we head out of day 1, going into day 2. Chris says, well, guess Debo stays a Niner for now. For now, it's still not a dead issue. I mean, just because I wouldn't breathe a sigh of relief, to be honest with you. It's just the trade just didn't take place today. That's the only difference. The trade did not take place today. That's not to mean that he still doesn't want to play out of San Francisco. Like, that's still an issue. Like, it's not going to be like a non-issue. Like, it's still something that he wants out. He wants out of San Francisco. So you can either hold on to somebody who doesn't want to be there and hope that he changes his heart and his mind, or you can just honor his wishes and ship him out, and move on. John Lynch trying to play it tough. He's trying to be the tough guy, saying, you know what? Nah, man, I'm the GM. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I can see, I mean, it's not confirmed, but I could see Debo Samuel holding out. Could you? And forcing a trade that way? I could see him holding out a training camp, OTAs. I could see him doing that. Okay, fine. If you don't want to trade me, I'm going to play for you. What's it to him? He already knows that, he's 1 hit away from his career ending. Right? So I could see him holding out. My guy Daniel Middleton says, franchise tag him. Well, if you franchise tag him, which have to be the year after this year, he could still hold out. He could still hold out and request a trade that way, force a trade that way. And let's face it, no GM is going to sit on damaged goods, right? Because it doesn't do anyone any good if a player just sits out. Like, no one wins. Everyone loses because Debo's not playing and the Niners don't get anything in return from having him on the field. So you might as well get something that you can from trade value and move on. That's just my take. I don't know. I just think you should trade the guy. Not because it's easy to do so, because he doesn't want to be there. Like, if I'm GM John Lynch and someone doesn't want to be there, why try to keep him there? Like, why try to keep someone there who doesn't want to be there? Like, you don't want to be there. It's like you're holding him against his will. Like, he doesn't want to be there. All right. It's going to get interesting. I still think Debo is going to get traded at some point. Unless he gets paid. Unless he gets paid in San Francisco. Like, they have to pay him. All right. If you guys want to voice your opinion, your thoughts on that, please be sure to do so. Drop your comments. Hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button here. I appreciate it if you guys did that. That is free. Also, if you guys want to send me a super chat, we've been on for 2 hours now. So if you've been watching for 2 hours and you want to send me a super chat, I would appreciate it. Or super sticker, whatever you guys call this. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Debo doesn't want to be there. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the mock drafts again. Here we are. The Washington Commanders have a trade, right? They're trading. Now the Saints are on the clock, right? We heard about the Saints and Mickey Loomis possibly making a play. So now they sit here at number 11. And so the question is, what are they going to do, right? What are the Saints going to do here? Wow. Was from the Eagles. Okay.
Washington now gets to use that pick. They have Carson Wentz on their team. Well, I think you look at the receiver run. Drake London went at 8. We just saw Garrett Wilson go at 10. And I think when you look at some of these other teams, Philadelphia being one of them, if you want a wideout that run, you might miss out.
All right, so what's going to happen here with the New Orleans Saints? I wonder if they're going to go after an offensive tackle here. Or do they go after a guy like Kyle Hamilton? Kyle Hamilton would be a nice play here at number 11. I can see Kyle Hamilton being the play here. You can go wide receiver here and go after Jamison Williams. Chris Olave could be a choice here. Wait, there's another trade now? Wait, am I tripping? Tom Pelissero just tweeted there's another trade. Like, how is that? The Saints traded number 16. Another trade. The Saints now traded number 16. How are the Lions on the clock? So the Saints traded with the Commanders to move up to the Commanders, and now the Lions are on the clock. How is that even possible? I don't know how this is. How are the Lions on the clock right now? Can anyone tell me how the Lions are on the clock right now? Spencer Bailey said, got to bounce, Beast. Just want to show you some support today, bro. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the love and support, Spencer. Really means a lot, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker, man. For real, for real. Appreciate it. You'll be entered for our BEASTwriter family giveaways for doing so, by the way. So thank you, and keep on spreading that aloha vibe. All right. So what is going on here? What is going on? All right, let's go. Hurry up.
Minnesota, an NFC North on an NFC North phone call. That's got to be a quarterback. You think they were making calls to teams inside the top 10? That's why I heard before the draft. Well, let's get the Saints pick first. With the 11th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select receiver Ohio State. Well, it looks like Kent Guard Mike is the one who got himself an Ohio State teammate instead of Terry McLaurin.
All right, so it's Chris Olave here. They did go wide receiver. I had Jahan Dotson at 19. Obviously, I couldn't predict a trade up, obviously, but I did have Chris Olave slated to go number 11. So I did get that pick right. I had Chris Olave slated to go number 11, so obviously he did. The Saints obviously moved up for him. I had the Commanders taking him actually before the trade down. But here we are today. All right, so that's good. Hit on that one. We're back in business, guys. So Detroit Lions, what are they going to do? They're going to move up for a quarterback right here? I don't know. They could go Kyle Hamilton here. No, I don't know what they're going to do, man. Wow. So Saints move up, get their wide receiver. Again, I had Chris Olave going number 11 to the Commanders. He goes number 11. Commanders trade back. Saints move up. They get Chris Olave. Mickey Loomis does it again, trading up. Mickey Loomis, one of the longest tenured GMs in the NFL, by the way. Okay. All right, so what does the Detroit Lions do? They're really going to draft a quarterback here? Why would you do this? Detroit Lions, if you draft a quarterback here, this is why you pick in the top 10 every single year, because you're going to reach for a freaking quarterback who really no one really wants anyways. Wow, the Eagles, what the... The Eagles now move to 13. What is going on here? How did the Eagles move to 13 now? What is going? See, all these trades. I told you guys, trades are going to happen. What's trade? What is going on here? There's another trade that took place. Let me just see what's going on here. Weren't the Lions on the clock? Wait, what? 13. All right, so let's see what. There's a lot of trades going on. I have no idea what's going on, obviously. Wow, the Vikings.
Meanwhile, the Eagles and Texans just struck a trade. The Eagles were picking 15th. They're now on the clock at 13 with the Texans moving down and at 15, and we're about to get the Lions pick. You think this is for a quarterback? If you move this aggressively up, usually it's for a quarterback, and that's a long-term need for this football team.
Eagles get the number 13th overall pick. So the Detroit Lions are on the clock right now at 12, but the Eagles get the 13th overall pick from the Texans. In exchange for the 15th pick. Okay. Another trade.
The Minnesota Vikings just traded the 12th pick to the Detroit Lions with the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select
Jamison Williams. Okay. Wow, I like that pick. Roll Tide roll, baby. 3 wide receivers in a row. Wow. Okay, so Detroit Lions get Jamison Williams. I like that. You got Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams. A draft for me. Boom. Book it. Best wide receiver. Cleanest edge rusher in this entire draft class. Detroit Lions. Good job, GM Brad Holmes. Good job. All right. So now I guess who's on the clock right now? The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. They get 13th in exchange for 15. Okay, got it. They get 13 from the Houston Texans. And what? The Texans get what? Texans get what? Texans get the 15th overall pick? Okay. So the Eagles get the 13th overall pick, and the Texans get the 15th. What? Yeah, and Texans get the 15th overall pick. Okay. All right, so the Eagles are now on the clock. They get the 13th overall pick that they got acquired from the Miami Dolphins. All right, so they get the 13th overall pick. And now the Houston Texans, who were initially slotted at 13, moved down 2 spots at number 15. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Okay. Gosh, all these, you know why all these teams are freaking trading up? Because what I say, this is a weak draft class. That's why. This is a weak draft class. And that's why you see all these teams trading up. Because again, how many round one talented players do you really see in this draft class? Be like, oh, well, let's just get the guy we want because this is a weak draft class. That's basically what's going on. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. Proof is in the pudding. All right. All right, so here we go. So So here we are. The Eagles, what are they going to do? So they moved up. They're on the clock. Are they going to go after a quarterback like Malik Willis? Nah, probably not. They have Jalen Hurts. Do they go after a wide receiver? Like Treylon Burks or something? I don't know. Kyle Hamilton. I can see Kyle Hamilton being the pick here too because they need a strong safety. But we'll see what they do here. All right.
Don't go anywhere. The Eagles all over the draft board. Same with the Texans and Washington. As we are a dozen picks into the 2022 NFL draft.
All right, so here we go. Where's the Baltimore Ravens at? Oh, here we go.
I'm not like those other hotels.
Crazy.
I'm what you call.
This is crazy.
I'm into intimate conversations, leather lounge chairs, and soaking up the city's atmosphere. I'm looking to provide a more unique experience. Do you like single origin coffee over a game of chess? Me too.
All right, so let's see how the 2022 NFL draft is unfolding. Got a lot of stuff here. Let's see here. Let's close that. We don't need that anymore.
Oh no, they didn't. Papa John's just took all that pepperoni and stuffed it inside that garlic kissed crust. And this here ain't just any pepperoni. Oh no. That's Papa John's pepperoni. That signature recipe.
All these trades, man. Crazy.
Blended spices. Ow! Right to the kisser. Now that's an epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza like no mouth has ever seen. Better ingredients, better pizza, even better when it's stuffed. When you step into a new day, determined, committed.
This is a crazy draft, dude. That's all I gotta say about that.
Is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in vehicle quality. During Ram Truck Month, get 0% financing for 72 months on
Crazy.
Ram 1500 Bighorn and Laramie Crew Cab models.
All right, so the Eagles are on the clock. I don't know what the hell they're going to do because it's a trade up. So obviously I had wide receiver before. They could go Treylon Burks. They could go after an interior offensive lineman. They can go after and get the best off-ball linebacker, a guy like Nakobe Dean. They could get a strong safety like Kyle Hamilton, who's still on the board. There's a lot of options for them. Eagles, Ravens, Texans, Commanders.
Build your Ford from the ground up. Want it in a regular cab, super cab, or super crew? You got it. Get an F-150 built your way. And now get an extra $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. All on a Ford built for you, by you. Order today. You gotta get you geared up, super fan.
Advisors who can select how much you invest and more time with this community. Compare your way there. Find
Crazy.
products for you on your side.
Now that they have their team, it's time to get their gear. Grab your phones and scan the QR code on the screen to get NFL draft pick jerseys and caps, or go to nflshop.com/draft. The Ravens' latest pick is in. The Texans are now on the clock. The Eagles' pick's about to be announced.
Okay.
The Eagles and Texans.
Who do you think the freaking Eagles are going to select? All right, they traded up.
Team traded over the Eagles, leapfrogged the Ravens. Everyone in the world.
Jordan Davis.
Shh. Ravens pick. Now the Eagles leap over and get a potential replacement for Fletcher Cox.
Oh,
So, would you agree with that, tea leaf? I was in Philadelphia in the personnel department when we traded up a few spots 10 years ago to take Fletcher Cox. Maybe history repeats itself. And the reason I like Jordan Davis in Baltimore, coach, was that he had Calais Campbell.
oh my gosh. I had Jordan Davis going to the Ravens.
Texans get a 4th and 2/5 to move down 2 spots. They now have 13 draft picks in this draft. That's the most in the 2020.
Dang it.
Here comes Roger Goodell with the first of 2 Eagles picks. Again, they pick 18th overall. And the Ravens pick is in, so you're going to get some back-to-back picks fast. And the
Man.
Texans are on the clock. The Washington Commanders will move down from 11. So the Saints could move up to take Chris Olave. They select. And it's the Chargers and Eagles again. And the commissioner, no doubt, about to announce who these young folks are.
For the Eagles pick are 6 high school tackle and flag football captains from teams across Clark County and Las Vegas.
I had Jordan Davis going to the Ravens.
They truly exemplify the NFL's values of respect, integrity, resiliency, and responsibility to their teams. Congratulations to all of you, and good luck on the upcoming.
All right, so Jordan Davis goes Beastwriter Plus newsletter. I had him going to the Ravens.
With the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jordan Davis,
Down.
defensive tackle, Georgia.
And there is the big Georgia Bulldog who lit it up at the combine. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic moving around and showing what he could do for a man his size and for a draft that started with 5.
All right, so they got Jordan Davis.
Did a run of
Eagles get Jordan Davis, which is fine. But then, obviously, that screws up all the draft. You can't predict trades. It's hard. That's the hardest thing is like predicting trades. All right, so right now, what do you do? Like, what's going to happen right now with the way that the draft is unfolding? Baltimore Ravens sitting there like freaking A. Okay, so what do we do here? I think the Baltimore Ravens might like to trade down right here. They can get a guy like Nakobe Dean. Go get another Georgia product. Go get my boy Nakobe Dean right now. It's not a reach need based pick. It's the best player available. Go out and get the guy, the defensive player of the year. You have Patrick Queen, another LSU product. Team up with him. You already got Odafe Owe. You have the linebackers. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. The reason why the Eagles traded up for Jordan Davis is because they knew the Baltimore Ravens were going to get him. And that's who I had plugged there. And that's why mock drafts, sorry, not mock drafts in general, but that's why when trades happen, it really screws up the mock draft because you can't predict trades. Because a lot of times people say stuff and leak stuff out and it's like, nah, it's not going to happen. So if you want to go that route, you're taking the risk of screwing up your mock draft, which some people do. I'd rather just go with what we know. But the Eagles going ahead and trading up for a guy like Jordan Davis when they have Javon Hargrave there and Fletcher Cox there, I don't know why they would go ahead and make this power play move for a guy like Jordan Davis because those guys are under contract. Now, the only other thing I can see is if they get rid of Javon Hargrave, coming over from the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 2019 as a 2020 addition. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right. So with the Baltimore Ravens, what do they go from here? You know, what do they do from here? Where do they go? Could they go George Karlaftis? I mean, that's a guy who I like, but I mean, that'd be a little bit high here. But if you're going BPA, because that's GM Eric DeCosta's MO, you're looking at the board. Let's see what's out there. And based on their needs, right? But again, do they draft for need or do they go and just take the best player available? I would take Nakobe Dean right here if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I would select Nakobe Dean. That's what I would do. I would take Nakobe Dean right here at 14. That's me. If I was the GM, I'd be like, oh, this is an easy pick. Let's go Nakobe Dean. We need an off-ball linebacker in a 3-4. Nakobe Dean played in a 3-4 in the SEC. Butkus Award winner. You see the film, you turn on the film, the guy who plays sideline can cover linebackers, come cover wide receivers, tight ends, running backs coming out of the flat. Doesn't really matter. The guy has that 4.48, 4.51 speed. I would say he's a 4.48 guy, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, he has definitely a 35-inch vertical at least, 120-inch broad jump at least. So I'm looking at it. I see the explosiveness. The guy can blitz up the A-gaps. He can blow up plays in the backfield. High motor guy, good team leader, team cap. I mean, the guy is he's a total package. And what you're looking for in a modern day NFL linebacker, why not go after a guy like Nakobe Dean? It's a safe bet. And it's the best bet. My opinion, I would go Nakobe Dean right here. Get Jordan Davis's teammate. Just ask Jordan Davis how well Nakobe Dean moves to the football, tracks the ball carrier. All right. All right, so Jordan Davis is definitely not going to the Baltimore Ravens, as I predicted. He goes one pick earlier because, again, no one can predict trades. That'd be crazy if I could predict trades. My man Daniel Jr. Middleton says, do you think the Jets' 10th pick is worthy of trying to trade for Debo? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is not over yet, my man. This is not over yet. Again, you got to look at it from GM Joe Douglas' standpoint. Okay, maybe we can't get a deal done today, but hey, if we go out and get a guy that we want at wide receiver, could we go out, like Garrett Wilson? Some people thought he was the best wide receiver in this entire draft class. Wide receiver 1. Why? Yes. To answer your question, yes. That could be a tradable asset before it's all said and done. Making a trade for another team. There he goes, Kyle Hamilton. As I said, Kyle Hamilton is the best player available. This is a good pickup here. I like the pickup by Kyle Hamilton right here. This is a good pickup from the Baltimore Ravens. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Is Kyle Hamilton part Asian? Is that his mom? I have no idea, by the way. Is that Kyle Hamilton's mom, by the way? And is Kyle Hamilton part Asian? I want to know the answer to that because if he is, I didn't know that. But he looks, now that I think about it, he does look part Asian. Is he part Asian? I don't know. All right. Braden says, I bet John Jay had most of the same picks as you did because he is a copycat and doesn't do the work. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think John Jay would do that. But again, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But if he does do that, that's not cool. But I don't think he does that. All right, so Kyle Hamilton goes to the, again, best player available. Eric DeCosta always goes BPA, right? I like it. I think this is a great pickup. Kyle Hamilton, Pro Bowl skill set, right? They say he's rangy. I don't think that he's rangy. Like, honestly, I don't think the guy's rangy. Like, they talk about his range, but literally, if you turn on the Toledo game, again, I graded every single snap. If you turn on the Beastwriter Plus newsletter, dial that in. I got grades to back it up. And I talked about it too with the GM, and he says, you're not wrong. Like, he is a traditional box safety, but his instincts allow him to make plays sideline to sideline. And for a safety position, that's an NFL trait that literally only few have. And so, yes, I like Kyle Hamilton. Like I said, in this draft, he's a top 10 talent. In any other given draft, he's a 12 to 17 range. He comes off the board right here at number 14. I can see why. All right. I had the Ravens I had the Texans selecting him at 13. So again, you see how it screws up the mock draft, but they're right there. I mean, it's right there.
And the Ravens, of course, have such a good history of amazing defenses. Ray Lewis and Reed, how will you make your mark?
I just hope to keep the tradition going. I mean, they already have a great team. I just hope to add to the defense and do what I can.
They hope you do too. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so Kurt Warner, take it away.
I tell you what, on the surface, guys, you kind of wonder, hey, got Chuck Clark, we got Marcus Williams, who we just signed in the offseason, but you're seeing more and more teams go to these three safety.
No, that what Kurt Warner is saying is totally incorrect. The real reason why the Baltimore Ravens made this play is because it's the best player available. It has nothing to do with being a trio of safeties on the field. No, it simply had to do with GM Eric DeCosta and Ozzie Newsom's philosophy of selecting the best player available, because a necessity today can be a weakness tomorrow. And so anytime you reach for need, diminishing the value of the pick, as I always like to say and preach about in the Beastwriter Plus newsletter or here on the BWF channel, is look, you always go BPA. You can never go wrong doing that. That's exactly what they did. They were looking at their vertical board, and I'm pretty sure, actually, I know Eric DeCosta is going to be like, yeah, we were looking at our board, and we were surprised that Kyle Hamilton was sitting there when we were on the clock. Obviously, he's not going to admit that Jordan Davis was their guy. I was told that was their guy. Once he came off the board, they went to the next plan B option, and that's still going BPA in selecting Kyle Hamilton. That's the reason they got Kyle Hamilton. The Houston Texans went ahead, and now they got Kenyon Green here. Kenyon Green. Daniel Jr. Milton says, I couldn't find out Hamilton's ethnicity. Yeah, I want to know what that is, to be honest with you. The Ravens just traded Marquise Brown and pick 100 to the Cardinals for pick 23 per source. Wow, that is interesting if that's true. What source is that? Oh, Ian Rappaport reported it right here. Arizona Cardinals trade number 23 to the Ravens for 100 and Hollywood Brown. Okay. This is crazy. This draft is so crazy. This is just crazy right now. Wow. Wow. All right, so Houston Texans select Kenyon Green. I could see that. I could see that. Derek Stingley, Kenyon Green. Okay, I could roll with that. All right, so now what do we got here? We got the New Orleans Saints are on the clock. But we got a trade at 23. We got the Arizona Cardinals moving. So Arizona Cardinals basically got Marquise Hollywood Brown, which means now they have Rondale Moore, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins, and AJ Green. So they're set at wide receiver. So now at 23, they're like, we don't need George Karlaftis. We need a wide receiver, and we can trade out. So now the Ravens are on the clock right now at 23. Or sorry, they pick at 23. The Ravens are smart. They know this is a depleted draft class, and they're willing to part ways with the number 100th overall pick to move up back into the first round and trade their first round pick, Marquise Hollywood Brown. That is a smart play. I like this a lot from the Baltimore Ravens. GM Steve Keim. I'm sorry, GM Steve Keim. You kind of missed out on this one, bro. Like, I think Eric DeCosta got the best of you, bro. I think Eric DeCosta got the best of you here. My opinion. But this is not a strong draft class. I don't see it. I like this for the Baltimore Ravens. Nice play by the Baltimore Ravens to go ahead and go back on the clock at pick number 23. The way they're seeing their draft board fall right now, which is why they went ahead and made this move. Again, you're looking at the best player available and the cluster of players that would be available at pick number 23 based on the team's needs in front of you. And when you're Eric DeCosta and you're looking at it and you already just struck a deal you just went ahead and made the selection of strong safety Kyle Hamilton, that's a strong power play move. I think you're happy with that alone. I think you can go in the post-draft presser on day one and sit with the beat writers and say, you know what? Look, Kyle Hamilton was the best player on our board. We had other players on the board because there's going to be questions. Hey, there's some reports that you guys were looking at no tackle Jordan Davis. And I'll be like, you know what? If I was Eric DeCosta, yeah, we were looking at there's a cluster of players in that. Obviously, if Jordan Davis was a target, we're not going to say outright Jordan Davis was a target. But we're like, yeah, there's a cluster of players there that we thought comfortable with. And Kyle Hamilton was one of those players. Boom, done. Which is probably true. But Jordan Davis is probably ranked higher on their vertical board, not specifically the horizontal board. Anyways. But again, if you're playing the horizontal board, Jordan Davis is the best interior defensive tackle. Kyle Hamilton is by far the best safety. So if you're looking at the horizontal board on positional needs, it's 1A and 1A, right? But on the vertical board, I think you have Jordan Davis rated slightly higher than you do a Kyle Hamilton. All right, so the Baltimore Ravens get this pick through who? Wait, is there another trade? What's going on? How come they're picking at 16? Wow, A.J. Brown is going to be on the move to the Eagles. This is crazy, guys. Wow. Okay, so Jahan Dotson. Wow.
Jahan Dotson has the best hands in this draft. Unbelievable. His route running. Here you see he's able to show you that polish at the top of his route. People attack that leverage, double moves. We've seen this with a bunch of these wide receivers so far tonight. It looks like Deshaun Jackson physically. He's got that same type of a build, but he can get that extra gear when he needs it. The run after catch, he can make you miss. He can run away from it, showing you his niftiness. There, contested catches. Here's where you see the best hands in the draft. The ability to adjust down the field. Outstanding. High pointed. And then this is one of the best catches you'll see in this draft class. The one-hander against Sean Wade in Ohio State. Joel, I know you saw a lot of Jahan Dotson during his career at Penn State. What I loved about him, DJ, is he had a great feel for space, in particular over the middle. Watch him climb the linebackers and play action. And Derek, in those hands that you were talking about, climbing the ladder, going up, snatching that football out of midair.
Commanders get Jahan Dotson. So it goes Commanders, Chargers, Eagles, Saints. All right, here we go.
Celebrating. We're going to get the Chargers pick, and then there is a major trade that just happened in this draft. Major.
With the 17th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Zion Johnson.
Oh my gosh, I was literally gonna plug Zion Johnson. I had him in my mock draft 2.0. I selected Devin Lloyd. They went ahead and got Zion Johnson. I should have stuck with that pick. Damn, I'm pissed about that. Got it wrong. Anyways, got it wrong. Calling myself out. Got it wrong. Wow. Damn it. I knew GM Tom Telesco would go that route. I had a feel. Actually, I didn't know because I would have made that pick. I had a feeling he would go that route. Didn't do it. Didn't have enough conviction. There you go. Wow. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Pretty much this draft is like crazy. But I do want to talk about the AJ Brown trade right before I go. AJ Brown has now been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember, everyone in the media is like, oh, no, they're not going to trade AJ Brown. Yeah, he just got traded. So the Eagles are sending picks number 18, 101 to the Titans for AJ Brown. So the 18th overall pick, the 101 overall pick to the Titans for AJ Brown. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this live stream. I actually got to get going. Crazy. Antonio says, yeah, I thought Kyle was blazing to a little reminiscent of a young Tiger Woods, whose mom was Thai. Kyle says, I've had interesting traveling child. Dad was a cager in Euro basketball leagues. I did not know that. That's crazy. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. If you did, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. I'll be back on tomorrow to wrap up this draft. I'm going to get some BEASTwriter Plus newsletter review out in terms of what happened on day one and my predictions for day two. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good day. BEASTwriter out.